This is Atomic Shinobi and today I'm going to narrate first part of What If Naruto Received Rinnegan from Kyuubi. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe to this channel. Now wasting no more time, let's start the story.
Leave me alone, I am only a kid, not some rodent, cried Naruto as he was attacked by a ninja. The ninja responded, shut it, demon. I lost my sister because of you, and for that you deserve to die like a demon you are. However, as the ninja proceeded to attack Naruto, his eyes were no longer blue, instead, they were ripple. Like, so Naruto cried in sorrow, Shinra Tensei. Lord Hokage, when I was being mistreated something happened to my eyes and I defeated a fellow leaf ninja with Shinra Tensei, Naruto said as he hurried to the Hokage office after sending ninja through an old building with Shinra Tensei. Horizon then noticed that Naruto had the Rinnegan and explained, unlike Sharingan or Byakugan, you have many incredible abilities, but if you wish to know who your parents are, I can't tell you until you're Chunin rank shinobi. As Naruto was feeling better, he said, thank you for explaining about the Rinnegan to me. I am going back home to an old abandoned mansion. Naruto then went to his own mindscape and fell asleep on his bed. However, as he was in his own mindscape, he looked directly at Kyuubi, the nine-tailed demon fox, and when Kyuubi saw that Naruto had the Rinnegan, he said, hello jailer, what do I have pleasure of such a visit at time like this? To which Naruto replied, what are you and why are you in me? After Naruto spoke, Kyuubi responded, I am Kyuubi the nine-tailed fox demon, and why I am here, well, you are what is known as Jinchuriki, and specially that your parents entrusted you power to protect Hidden Leaf Village from a threat far greater than I could ever be, which Naruto replied, that is why I am being mistreated. People think I am you in human form even when I am nothing like you. Then Kyuubi responded, you are kinda like me kid, you have been mistreated because your hero that saved Hidden Leaf Village by being my Jinchuriki while I am hated for something that was not really my fault. Heck, only two understanded my pain was your parents, the very two that defeated me in such a frightening like battle. So Naruto replied, what do you mean it is not your fault? I have been mistreated because I am your Jinchuriki. Kyuubi felt somewhat enraged and said, I was brainwashed by Madara Uchiha, and what is more, he killed your parents. The two that understood my pain, and kid, I will confess my plot to you, my plot to get revenge on that bastard. Which Naruto began to cry and said, you've been suffering longer than me, and for what it is worth me being your Jinchuriki, I am sorry that you had to suffer. The bastard that killed my parents will pay for what he did to us. So Kyuubi calms down and says, kid, thank you for understanding my pain. I will make it up to you by telling you everything I know about Rinnegan, since Path of Six Sages was like grandfather to me, Kyuubi, strongest of the tailed beasts. So Naruto inquired, what are the abilities I have? Kyuubi, I know Path of Six Sages has 6 abilities, I don't know what the abilities are. After Naruto spoke, Kyuubi explained, alright, path is called Animal Path. Second path is Asura Path. Third path is Diva Path. Fourth path is Human Path. Fifth path is Naraka Path, and finally sixth path is Preta Path, plus you have extra path that is Outer Path. You could say Rinnegan is Path of 7 Sages when Outer Path is Center Path. Then Naruto replied, 7 paths, that is awesome, except what does each path do? So Kyuubi explained, Animal Path allows you to summon a summoning creature. Asura Path allows you to summon any weapon you desire. Diva Path where you can manipulate opponent's magnetism. Human Path is where you can remove the opponent's soul. Naraka Path is where you can revive someone you care about or interrogate an enemy. Petra Path allows you to absorb chakra and to block attacks without receiving damage, plus Outer Path allows you to revive multiple people that you care about. Heck, Outer Path allows you to even use demonic statue chains on opponents that been summoned with a forbidden jutsu. Afterwards Naruto said, that is incredible, what else do you know about Rinnegan? Which Kyuubi clarified, you will have 5 chakra elements, and you will also have yin, yang chakra element, and especially that with yin, yang chakra element you will able to create anything from a living person to a ninja tool. Then Naruto responded, thank you Kyuubi for informing me everything that you know about Rinnegan. I promise to use my eyes wisely. Heck, I will even use Animal Path ability to summon you just to give you some kind of freedom. So Kyuubi responded, that is kind of you kid, but now I suggest that you wake up because you need to get to Ninja Academy, and Naruto, go make your parents proud. The following day, Naruto changed into his ninja gear, ate breakfast, and then left for Ninja Academy. However, as soon as he got there, he thought, okay, Kyuubi, it's time that I show my parents something for them to be proud of. Despite this, Naruto knew that it would not be easy to be accepted, especially since there would be people who would make fun of him because they believe they are better than Naruto Namikaze, also known as Naruto Uzumaki, until he was told who his parents were. Everyone in Ninja Academy was chatting until Haruka said, alright, you guys have enough chat. I'd like you to meet a new student. His name is Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto then entered the classroom and said, "Hello. I hope we can get along." Iruka then said, "Naruto, you can sit next to Sasuke Uchiha." However, as Naruto reached for Sasuke, a girl with pink hair said, "Hey, you get away from my Sasuke, you don't deserve to sit next to survivor of Uchiha clan." Then Naruto responded, "Shut it, Pink Banshee. Iruka-sensei told me to sit next to Sasuke, and for you information, you Pink Banshee, I would watch your mouth before someone burns that hair of yours," the blonde-haired girl responded. Like Billboard Brow said, "You don't deserve to sit next to Sasuke because only people like me can sit next to Sasuke," and Naruto responded, "Look, whoever you are, if you want to join that PNK Banshee, I would watch your mouth, and Iruka-sensei told me to sit with Sasuke Uchiha even if he might not want me to sit with him." And Naruto looked at Sasuke. "Just ignore those two fangirls, none of them are worthy to sit with an Uchiha like me, and Naruto, I would rather have you sit with me than them, since they will not leave me alone even when I am survivor of Uchiha clan." Following his words, Naruto said, "You're a survivor of that clan, what happens to them?" Which Sasuke responded, "I will tell you later, Naruto, because I want to get on with this before those two fangirls gets on my nerves." Then Naruto pondered, "This Uchiha is not like Uchiha you told me about, and whatever happened I can't have him suffer loneliness no matter how painful it appears to be." So he responded, "Once this is finished, why don't you come over to my place? I could do with some company since we both are suffering from loneliness." When Sasuke saw this, Sasuke responded, "Sure Naruto, that would be nice, and especially anywhere away from those two, be home sweet home to me." Following his words, Iruka responded, "Right, can anyone tell me what happened when Fugaku Uchiha and Minato Namikaze faced with each other back in their days of Chunin exams?" Which Sasuke interrupted Naruto as he responded, "My father was defeated by Lord Hokage Minato by using combination of his incredible speed and incredible skills. Heck, jutsu Lord Hokage used to defeat my father was a jutsu that might have been lost to Namikaze clan jutsu, the Rasengan." Then Naruto responded, "Fugaku has tried to block Rasengan with fireball jutsu, except the Rasengan was such an incredible jutsu that it even stopped Hiyashi Hyuga's 8 grams rotation, and so they did." Iruka said, "That's right, you too. And now that lesson is done for today, everyone go home because tomorrow is going to be Genin exams." Sasuke then returned to the abandoned mansion with Naruto, to which Naruto replied, "That seems fair enough, and Naruto, sleep well because tomorrow we shall become 2 Genin ranked shinobi. Especially that you are my friend Naruto. No matter what those weaklings think of our friendship, we shall defeat the loneliness together as a team that shall light the way against the darkness." After Sasuke finished speaking, he went to his room to get some rest. After falling asleep, Naruto dreamed about what had happened to his clan and thought, "What the ramen is going on? No Uchiha deserves this amount of suffering." Then, he saw who the attacker was, and it turned out to be none other than Madara Uchiha, the former leader of the Uchiha clan. Naruto looked at Sasuke Uchiha, who was looking scared, but as soon as he approached him, he swiftly pulled the cover to conceal their hiding place in the hopes that Madara Uchiha would be unable to discover where the two are hiding. When the two of them awoke, they both appeared shocked. "Naruto, do you mind if I tell you what happened to my clan?" Sasuke asked. "It is up to you, Sasuke. I don't mind because it might be linked to what happened to my parents." Sasuke went on to explain, 3 days ago, our own ancestor Madara Uchiha attacked my clan, and when I returned from a little walk, I found out that nearly all my clan members were killed except for my big brother, who was crying in a lot of pain that he fled from Uchiha clan." Naruto put his hand on Sasuke's shoulder and said, "That same bastard is one that killed my parents, and we shall be orphans no more because Uchiha and whatever clan I am from will be forever as allies no matter what bad blood they may have had in the past." The following day, 2 Sasuke fangirls went to the ninja academy for their breakfast. When they finally got there, they sat next to each other, and as 2 Sasuke fangirls were about to speak, Sasuke said, "Whatever you're going to say, Naruto is my friend, and if you say something unkind to my friend I will not show any forgiveness because Naruto saved me from the pit of loneliness just as I saved Naruto from the same pit of loneliness." Naruto then added, "Sasuke is my friend and you two leave him alone. He does not need you chasing him because you don't understand the pain we both feel since you have family while we only have each other, even if people do not even approve of my friendship with Sasuke Uchiha, survivor of the Uchiha clan." Iruka said, "All right, we'll begin with the first part of Genin exam, transformation jutsu and clone jutsu," as Naruto bravely looked at him. Sasuke then approached Iruka and said, "Come on, Sasuke, show them what you got." Sasuke responded, "You got it, Naruto. I'll show what Uchiha is capable of." As he made a hand sign, He yelled, "Transform," but everyone was taken aback, with the exception of Naruto, who grinned. Once Sasuke had transformed into Naruto, he changed back, and as he yelled, "Shadow Clone Jutsu," he formed a two-handed hand sign. Then, he made a perfect shadow clone of himself, and Sasuke went over to Naruto, who went over to Iruka. When Sasuke's shadow clone was dispelled, Naruto formed a two-handed hand sign while shouting, "Shadow Clone Jutsu," but as he created a perfect shadow clone too, Naruto's formed a hand sign as they both yelled, "Transformation Jutsu," so both Naruto's became perfect replicas of Sasuke's parents. Once Naruto had transformed into Sasuke's parents, he said, "Iruka-sensei, me and Sasuke have too much chakra to form normal clone jutsu, except that is why we used shadow clone jutsu." Iruka responded, "That's alright Naruto, as long you informed me why you could not do clone jutsu. Shadow clone jutsu was next best thing to use past the first part of Genin exams." While everyone else followed suit, Mizuki, another academy sensei, arrived, knowing that he had the ideal strategy to employ on Naruto. "Right, second part of Genin exams is a spar and it will be instead of 2 meaning 2 against 2, said Mizuki as she arrived. Naruto and Sasuke nodded to one another, and they moved forward together until Neji appeared with Kiba. However, as they did so, Naruto stated, "We are up against 2 people of 2 different clans." Sasuke turned to face Neji and said, "Naruto, you have Inuzuka. I will take the Hyuga because Uchiha has scored to settle with Hyuga, especially since their little brawl was interrupted years ago by none other than Lord Hokage Horizon." Following Sasuke's speech, Naruto attacked Kiba until Kiba struck him with his piercing fang. Neji then attempted to attack Sasuke until Sasuke made a two-handed hand sign while yelling, "Fire-style fireball jutsu." Sasuke then fireballed Neji, but as the two attempted to attack Sasuke, Naruto made a shadow clone to protect him. However, when the shadow clone was apprehended, Sasuke struck the 2 members of Hidden Leaf Village's 2 distinct clans, knowing that Sasuke was grateful for Naruto's protection. Mizuki said, "That is enough, you 2 passed," after Naruto had protected Sasuke. Then, after everyone had sparred with one another, Mizuki said, "All right, Naruto and Sasuke are top genin because of their teamwork, as everyone else is belonging to them, leaving dead last to be Sakura Haruno plus Ino Yamanka." Naruto gave Sasuke a thumbs up, saying, "Nice work, Sasuke. I knew we could do it and we are one step closer to fulfilling whatever our dream is." Sasuke responded, "You are right on that Naruto. Our dream will be fulfilled. You can go for Hokage. I will go for being your personal bodyguard. Heck, we can both go for becoming head of our clan." Following Sasuke's speech, the 2 went to Ichiraku Ramen to celebrate their achievement of becoming genin. As they arrived, Naruto said, "Sasuke, I hope we get to be in the same team together because with your skills combined with my skills we will be undefeatable team, even greater than our parents." Sasuke responded, "That will be the day Naruto, that will be the day that Uchiha and your clan will be allies, and if your clan needs help Uchiha clan shall help you just as your clan help Uchiha clan if they are in trouble." The 2 then sat down to enjoy their favorite ramen while contemplating their shared objective, to kill Madara Uchiha for everything he has done to both Naruto and Sasuke. As they finished the ramen Tenchi had given them, Naruto whispered, "2 dead last are watching us Sasuke, how do you think we should avoid them?" Sasuke responded, "That should be challenging enough, all we need to do is trick them with shadow clone jutsu, and when we return home to that mansion you living in we can dispel the shadow clone." Naruto then said, "Sasuke, you're a genius using the old prank and escape trick." As 2 formed a two-handed hand sign, they whispered, "Shadow clone jutsu," and the originals fled back to Naruto's place, knowing Sakura and Ino were pursuing them. "I can't believe they fell for such a trick we pulled off, and by now they're at home crying for what we did," said Naruto after the 2 originals had dispelled their shadow clone. Sasuke responded, "That will teach them not to follow me, and Naruto, if I want a girlfriend I would rather have one that will love me for who I am, not for being one of the last 3 Uchihas." When they stopped laughing, Naruto continued, "Same air Sasuke, I would rather have a girlfriend who will accept me for who I am, not for being a Jinchuriki." At that point, Sasuke stopped laughing. After talking to each other, they went to bed knowing that their teams would be chosen tomorrow. While they were sleeping soundly, Naruto had a dream in which he was staring at Red Death and the 4th Hokage. When they woke up the following day, they realized that their teams would be chosen that day, especially since they both wanted a girl who wouldn't act like a fangirl or an unpleasant bully. They changed from their night gear to their ninja gear after waking up, had breakfast, and then proceeded straight to the Ninja Academy to see what the genin team matchup was. Iruka then said, "Right, Team 7 is Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, and Isaribi with Team Sensei Kakashi Hitaki." Kakashi then appeared and said, "Right, Team 7, let's get over to Training Ground 1 for team introduction and a teamwork exercise." As Kurenai arrived, Kurenai said, "Team 8, time for us to get over to Training Ground 8 for team intro plus a teamwork exercise." Following Kurenai's speech, Team 8 left for their meeting spot. Iruka then said, "Team 9 is Neji Hyuga, 1010 Weaponchi, and Rock Lee with Team Sensei Might Guy." Might Guy then showed up and said, "All right, team with Power of Youth, let us head off to our meeting point Training Ground 5 for team intro including a teamwork exercise." Team 9 then left for their meeting spot. Iruka then said, "All right, Team 10 is Shikamaru Nara, Shoji Akamichi, and Ino Yamanka with Team Sensei Asuma Saratobi." However, Asuma arrived and said, "Team, time to get over to rooftop of team intro along with teamwork exercise." Team 10 left for their meeting spot after Asuma finished speaking, and Iruka said, "Finally, Team 11 is Sakura Haruno, Sai, and Shin with Team Sensei Rin Inazuka." Rin Inazuka then said, "Team, follow me to our meeting point Training Ground 7, otherwise known as Flower Meadow, for team intro and teamwork exercise." Team 11 then left for Training Ground 7, and Kakashi said, "Okay, before we begin teamwork exercise, tell me about yourself." However, Naruto appeared composed, so he said, "Kakashi-sensei, why don't you tell us about yourself? That way we get to see what team intro is all about." After Naruto had spoken, Kakashi said, "My name is Kakashi Hitaki. My likes is my teammate Rin Inazuka, reading Icha movies. My dislikes is people to spit at dying of Minato-sensei, traitors and those who spit honor of my friend Obito Uchiha, but my goal is to fulfill Minato-sensei's wish plus Obito Uchiha's wish, and especially my dream is to accomplish Minato-sensei's wish along with Obito Uchiha's wish by being a good sensei." And then Kakashi responded, "Alright Isaribi, it is your turn to introduce yourself to your two teammates." After Kakashi had spoken, Isaribi responded, "My name is Isaribi. My likes is a certain hero of this village, Ramen. My dislikes is fangirls that calls themselves a kunoichi. Icha stuff. My dream is to make this village's hero happy, and my goal is to not only be personal advisor of 6th Hokage, also be personal bodyguard of 6th Hokage." And then Kakashi responded, "Alright Sasuke, it is your turn to introduce yourself to your two teammates." So Sasuke responded, "My name is Sasuke Uchiha. My likes is my friend Naruto, Ramen, Will of Fire. My dislikes is my ancestor Madara Uchiha. People pick on Naruto. My dream is to become official head of Uchiha clan, and my goal is to be Naruto's bodyguard when he becomes Hokage, except added goal is to end hatred Uchiha has with Senju clan, even when there might be any survivors of Senju clan." After Sasuke had spoken, Kakashi said, "Finally, it is your turn, Ripple Eyes." And Naruto responded, "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. My likes is my friend Sasuke, Will of Fire, Ramen, a girlfriend who will love me for who I am, not for what I host. My dislike is Madara Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, Ino Yamanka, Icha books, Icha movies. My dream is to be 6th Hokage, and my goal is to form clan alliance with Uchiha clan when I become head of whatever clan I am from." Then Kakashi pondered, "Let's see, I have Aqua Girl, Obito's legacy, and my sensei's only son. Well, looks like my mission Obito left me along with my mission Minato sensei has finally began." After reflecting on his thoughts, Kakashi replied, "Right. For teamwork exercise, I like you to try get these 3 bells of me, and you need to come at me with an intent to defeat me in a match, but if you fail you got back to square one by going back to being academy students, since I noticed that each of you are wearing your genin headbands that has the symbol of Hidden Leaf Village. Anyways, get some rest because tomorrow we start our first mission as Team 7, and especially that it is not going to be an easy D-rank mission that Nuki formed genin teams normally start with." Following Kakashi's speech, Naruto asked, "Will you go out with me, Isaribi?" Isaribi responded, "Are you asking me out on a date, Naruto?" Naruto then said, "I am asking you out on a date, Isaribi, and if you say no, I will understand." Isaribi responded, "I love to go out on a date with you, Naruto." As the couple left, Sasuke went to Ichiraku Ramen to see if he could find a girlfriend who wasn't fangirl based, especially one who respects both the Namikaze and Uchiha clans. "Nice to meet you, Maisha. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and this is my girlfriend Isaribi Aquasha." "Nice to meet you, Isaribi, and nice to meet you too, Naruto. My boyfriend told me a lot about you being the hero of the leaf, but he didn't tell me why you're the hero of the leaf," Isaribi said, grinning, as he arrived at Ichiraku Ramen with his own girlfriend. The following day, Naruto, Sasuke, and Isaribi were at the Hokage office with Kakashi. Kakashi said, "Lord Hokage, you have a mission for us." Horizon responded, "Oh, yes, the mission. Your mission is to protect the bridge builder named Tsuna. Tsuna entered the Hokage office and said, I hoped for ninja and these are one signed to protect me well, I might as well take what I can. However, as Naruto turned to face Tsuna, he explained, I sense something worrying Tsuna and whatever rank that this mission turns out to be, I am not going to leave innocent person to defend of himself. Horizon was about to sign paperwork when Naruto said, Lord Hokage Horizon, you may be jutsu professor, but when it comes to dealing with paperwork, I know perfect weapon against paperwork that not even you have noticed. After Naruto finished speaking, Horizon said, Common. Naruto, tell me I must know secret to defeat my arch foe the paperwork, which Naruto responded with, I wish I could tell you except the jutsu I have in mind is kinda classed as forbidden jutsu. Then Horizon responded with, if you tell me Naruto, I will not only tell you who your parents are, I will give you seat of the council and everything that your parents own including keys to your parents' place. So Naruto responded, perfect weapon against paperwork is in fact a jutsu known as shadow clone jutsu. Heck, I might not be Hokage, I am at least genius when it comes to how to defeat paperwork without even having to put up with paperwork related stress. After Naruto finished speaking, Horizon replied, why did I not think of that, Naruto, as I promised I will tell you all that I know. Heck, here are keys to Namikaze Mansion. Anyways, your father was my successor Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash of Hidden Leaf Village, as your mother is Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze, Red Death of Hidden Leaf, but more importantly she was former Jinchuriki of Nine-Tail Fox Demon. And Sasuke, you don't have Madara's will of hatred that your father had, you have Izuna Uchiha's will of courage, because unlike Madara his brother Izuna had a special gift, the gift of Uchiha Light. Heck, it is extreme ILU rare for Uchiha be born with Uchiha Light. Following his remarks, Naruto said, you may call me Naruto Namikaze, head of Namikaze clan, which Kakashi looked embarrassed as he said, Naruto, your father was Mayan Rin's sensei and I am sorry I did not fulfill my sensei's mission when you was being mistreated. And then Naruto stated, you have been forgiven Kakashi sensei, you can still fulfill your final mission that my father has given you. And Sasuke, once the council meeting happens I like you to join me since I am going to petition for you to be given council seat of Uchiha clan. So Sasuke replied, Uchiha Light of Izuna Uchiha, that makes sense why I was never cursed by Uchiha's will of hatred, and I am going to do what no Uchiha ever done before, end the hatred Uchiha has for Senju by challenging survivor of Senju clan to an exhibition match in Chunin exams arena. After Naruto finished speaking, he was given the keys to Namikaze Mansion, a prom kunai, and 2 letters. Team 7 then went to the Land of Waves with Tsuna, but as they got there, Naruto said, hold on everyone. This does not feel right, there are 2 puddles and it never rained since I can see chakra network on these 2 puddles. Sasuke responded, Naruto is right, my Sharingan may have not have been awakened yet, but I can still sense chakra like Naruto can. Sasuke then made a tiger hand sign and yelled, fire style fireball jutsu, while fireballing what appeared to be 2 puddles. However, the 2 puddles changed back to 2 unknown shinobi. When 2 unidentified shinobi appeared, Kakashi said, Demon Brothers Moku and Daku, and Moku replied, Kakashi, Hitaki, I see that you know us, except that will not help you because that old guy the bridge builder can not be allowed to live. Then Doku responded, my brother is right, copycat ninja, the bridge builder must die to ensure Gato to rise in power. Subsequently Naruto stated, looks like it is your unlucky day, Demon Brothers, because you are up against leader of Namikaze clan and next to be leader of Uchiha clan. So Kakashi responded, Isaribi, protect the bridge builder, I will assist you while legacy of my teammate along with legacy of my sensei handles the Demon Brothers. Following Kakashi's speech, he uses Isaribi's assistance to protect the bridge builder. Naruto said, Sasuke, do you know any fireball jutsu that works perfectly well with water style jutsu? And Sasuke responded, I do, Naruto, and whatever you're planning I am ready to back you up. At the same time, he made a tiger hand sign. However, as the Demon Brothers attacked 2 destined to be clan leaders, they yelled, water-style burning water pistol. Isaribi used a water-style water wall to protect the bridge builder, knowing that Kakashi was using a shadow cone to shield himself and Isaribi from any incoming attacks. After 2 Demon Brothers were struck by water-style burning water pistol, Naruto yelled, human path soul removal. Knowing that he had obtained information from 2 Demon Brothers who had had their souls torn out of their bodies by the human path Naruto used, Naruto then explained, bridge builder is hiding something from us, and what I know this mission is actually low-level rank mission. Heck, Demon Brothers are nothing like 2 we will encounter. Therefore, knowing that he does not want to be questioned by Kakashi or any of his 3 students, especially when Naruto could use Rinnegan or Sasuke to use damaging skills to obtain answers from Tasuna. The field was covered in mist after Tasuna explained what had happened. Kakashi then said, "Everyone get ready because this foe is stronger than two demon brothers." Naruto then yelled, "Petrapath," and as he did, he absorbed the mist and revealed a member of 7 swordsmen of mist. Kakashi then looked at one of them and said, "Zabuza Momochi, demon of the mist, I never thought you of all people work of that scumbag Gato except if you plan to kill Tasuna. We will stop you at all costs because Gato's reign of terror will come to an end." Following Kakashi's speech, Naruto yelled, "Asura Path," which he used to summon his brother, the Samahata Destroyer, to his hand. He then said, "Zabuza Momochi meets brother of Samahata Destroyer, so Naruto ready Destroyer." Zabuza went to attack Naruto until Naruto blocked Zabuza's sword with his own sword. Zabuza smiled, and Naruto said, "You're good Zabuza, there is goodness in your heart." As Zabuza prepared his sword, he responded, "What do you know of goodness? Mizukage Yagura claimed war against Bloodline Shinobi and I can't help because I was claimed as a missing ninja along with my son, a Bloodline user." After Zabuza finished speaking, Naruto said, "Tell me, Zabuza, is your Mizukage that vile or could it be that something is seriously wrong because I happen to be Bloodline Ninja and I am son of Yellow Flash Minato Namikaze the 4th Hokage?" To which Zabuza replied, "What could you do? Lord Mizukage Yagura has the power of 3-tailed beast Sanbi." Naruto then said, "I have 9-tailed fox demon Kyuubi, the strongest of the 9 Biju, and if you claim your Mizukage turned rotten on Bloodline, I shall meet with Mizukage myself anyways. I sense your son to appear, but for now let us finish this little spar match of honor." Zabuza made a 2-handed hand sign and yelled, "Water style water dragon jutsu." Then, he yelled, "Water style hydro shot jutsu." As Zabuza was about to finish pretending, a masked ninja arrived to protect him without realizing he had noticed the masked ninja. The masked ninja then said, "Thank you for keeping my father busy. I have been trying to find him because he has a secret that is rightfully mine, especially that its secret is who my mother is." Following the masked ninja's speech, Naruto said, "Drop the act ninja, or should I say, Haku Momochi. I knew that you were not really trying to find him since you were watching while you were hiding yourself." Haku responded, "I am pleased that you know of me, except we will take down that bridge builder now." Zabuza then said, "Enough Haku, they are not the enemy anymore because the son of the 4th Hokage told me that he will meet Yagura himself." Haku responded, "Very well, father, I approve because Yagura caused much damage to Hidden Mist Village." Naruto then said, "Alright, explain to us when Yagura started disliking Bloodline Ninja." Zabuza explained that only he and Sasuke knew how to pull such a rotten trick to make Yagura dislike Bloodline Ninja. Kakashi-sensei, it looks like the person who made Mizukage Yagura claim war against Bloodline Ninja of his own village is the same bastard that caused me and Sasuke to suffer loneliness, except we shall suffer no more, Naruto said as he and Sasuke arrived at Hidden Mist Village. "Where is Yagura located in this village?" Naruto asked the red-haired woman, but she looked at him and said, "Nephew, is that really you or am I just seeing things? I am certain that you look like my sister's husband, Minato Namikaze." As Naruto was about to figure out what the woman was referring to, he said, "If you are my mother's sister, that means you are my aunt, a survivor of Uzumaki clan, allies of Namikaze clan." The red-haired woman said, "You got that right, nephew. I am your aunt Mei Uzumaki, and your 2 cousins are also alive, except they are both in 2 different locations away from me." Naruto responded, "I will bring them back to Hidden Mist. Auntie Mei and now me and my friend Sasuke Uchiha are going to meet up with Lord Mizukage Yagura because we know that he is not acting himself since this warrior village has with itself." Mei then added, "Yagura is at the tower over there in Sector Alpha." Naruto then left with Sasuke to meet up with Yagura, knowing that Zabuza had returned to Hidden Mist Village with Haku. However, as soon as they arrived at Yagura's tower, something happened. Sasuke's Sharingan had finally awakened, and that the timing couldn't be more perfect. As Sasuke's Sharingan awakened, Naruto said, "Lord Mizukage Yagura, I am Naruto Namikaze, a Jinchuriki like you, and this is my best friend Sasuke Uchiha, one of the 3 surviving Uchihas," which Yagura said, "Bloodline scum, you will die for intruding on my tower." Then Naruto said, "Fellow Jinchuriki, you are not being yourself because someone is controlling you with a genjutsu turning you against the Bloodline shinobi of your own village." Then Yagura said, "Nobody is controlling me, I am the Mizukage, the leader of Hidden Mist Village." So Sasuke said, "If nobody is controlling you, why do I sense that vile bastard Madara Uchiha, since he is only Uchiha capable to brainwash someone like of you?" But as Yagura went to attack Sasuke, Naruto yelled, Fellow Jinchuriki Yagura, look into your heart and see the true you that is suffering from extreme pain. While Yagura closed his eyes, he noticed that Naruto was right, that Yagura was being brainwashed by Madara Uchiha, until Yagura yelled, "Get out of my head, you murderous bastard! I am Mizukage of Hidden Mist Village and Jinchuriki of Three-Tailed Beast Sanbi, not a puppet for you to control with those Sharingan of yours." After giving it some thought, he broke out of Madara Uchiha's genjutsu. Yagura then went to the balcony and yelled, "People of Hidden Mist Village, stop this at once! You are not at war, because I Yagura hereby announce that my successor Mei Uzumaki is now 5th Mizukage, and with Mei Uzumaki being your Mizukage under guidance of me being her personal advisor, never again shall we suffer pain of civil war, plus I hereby degree hero of Hidden Mist Village." As Naruto turned to face Kakashi, he explained, "Kakashi-sensei, me and Sasuke have stopped Madara Uchiha's plan to get the Three-Tailed Beast by breaking its Jinchuriki Yagura from a powerful genjutsu. Heck, I met my aunt, the 5th Mizukage Mei Uzumaki, one of 3 surviving Uzumaki clan members." Kakashi then said, "Well done, Naruto and Sasuke, you have made me proud, but we still have to finish Gado's reign of terror." Naruto then picked up his sword destroyer and turned it back into Yin-Yang chakra, knowing that once it changed back into Yin-Yang chakra, it returned to his chakra network. But when Gado arrived with a group of thugs, he said, "Hiring shinobi has cost me money, and I would rather have a job done for nothing and buy, if you don't mind, surrender the bridge builder or die." "How could you use people like that, you vile scumbag?" Zabuza and his son Haku only wanted to make new path of peace in their village, not be used as your twisted decoys. Naruto said after he finished speaking. Team 7 noticed that a slight surge of red chakra began to spiral around Naruto until he said in an angry voice, "Gado, you vile scumbag, for using 2 innocent people for your personal gain, I will show no mercy to you or those thugs are yours, because only thing that you will receive as payment is your death." Then, without realizing what was happening, Naruto attacked his thugs, killing them one by one, leaving Gado to defend himself. "Please, I will give you anything, money, women, anything you want, let me live," he said, and the team watched in shock as he said, "What I want is Land of Wave to be free from your control, and as payment for me to make that happen I will take your life." After saying, "Human path soul removal," Naruto killed Gado because his soul had been taken away from him. Knowing that Kyuubi's chakra had returned home into his chakra network, Naruto calmed down and explained, "Sensei, those were bad people you killed. I killed them with my own 2 hands, and why did it feel enjoyable?" Kakashi then said, "Naruto, those were bad people you killed. You are a hero who not only saved Hidden Mist Village, you have saved Land of Waves even with help from Sasuke Uchiha, and not even I was like that when Obito Uchiha was still alive." Naruto responded, "Thank you, Kakashi-sensei. I needed that, and I sensed that you were hiding something in that mask of yours, meaning it is time you tell Sasuke what happened to Obito Uchiha." As Kakashi uncovered his eye revealing a Sharingan, Kakashi said, "Sasuke, many years ago I was part of old Team 7 with Rin Inazuka and Obito Uchiha, with Minato-sensei being team leader as one of our Jonin missions was a place called Kanabi Bridge until that unfaithful day where some rock shinobi striked, causing a rock to crush right into Obito, leaving half of his body uncrushed. Heck, my own eye was badly damaged due to the attack of Hidden Rock Village shinobi." Which Sasuke said, "That explains why you have Sharingan. Obito entrusted you his eye and you exchanged your badly damaged eye for Obito's Sharingan eye, ensuring you to become what you're nicknamed, the copycat ninja. Except did Obito say anything to you, Kakashi-sensei?" Then Kakashi said, "Obito said to me his dying wish was me protect heir of Uchiha Light. That heir Obito personally picked was you, Sasuke Uchiha. The times you thought you was alone, I was there looking out of you without having you seeing where I was hiding. Heck, I was doing same for you, Naruto, since Minato-sensei along with Lady Kushina left me final mission from them to protect you from the harshness of life." So Sasuke felt like crying with Naruto, knowing that they have been untrusted to continue their legacy no matter how challenging it is going to be for them. After the two had their little cry, they cheered up as Tasuna said, "I think this bridge shall be called Great Naruto Bridge in honor of Naruto's bravery to save Land of Waves from control of Gado," which a young boy came over to Naruto as young boy said, "I want to grow up be just like you someday," which Naruto said, "To become a ninja it takes a lot of training with hard work and time at a ninja academy." Then Team 7 went back to Hokage office. Then 2 hours later they arrived at Hokage office. So Kakashi said, "Lord Hokage, the mission was a right success. We managed to release Land of Waves From control of Gato except Naruto and Sasuke saved Hidden Mist Village with pure courage that's strong enough that Mizukage broke out of a powerful genjutsu allowing Hidden Mist Village be at peace with Mei Uzumaki being 5th Mizukage. While Horizon looked proud, Horizon said, excellent job you two, by right you should be promoted to Chunin, except my blasted village council elders are against that, and especially they think you two should not be able to leave Hidden Leaf Village without protection. After Horizon spoke, Team 7 went home except for Sasuke, who went back with Naruto to the abandoned mansion. Which Naruto formed a two-handed hand sign as Naruto said, wind style great twister, then Naruto undusted the whole entire mansion with great twister, then Naruto saw a logo which Naruto said, Sasuke look at this, that is symbol of Uchiha clan and there is a note on it saying to my sucker of Uchiha light legacy as you are. Reading this, it means that this whole entire mansion, along with everything I own, now belongs to you, including the inheritance that I left for you to use as you wish. So Sasuke felt a little down as Sasuke said, my fellow Uchiha Obito, Uchiha left this for me, including the jutsu scrolls, but what are you going to do, Naruto? You have been my best friend, I can't allow you to suffer loneliness I have suffered. But as Naruto gave a thumbs up, Naruto replied, hey Sasuke, don't look at this in negative way, you're leader of Uchiha clan now just as I am leader of Namikaze clan. Heck, Namikaze clan mansion might be nearby yours since we are clan allies. As Naruto gave Sasuke keys to Uchiha mansion, Naruto went up to Namikaze clan mansion until he noticed that he was right, the Namikaze clan mansion was not far from Uchiha mansion. Then Naruto used his keys to open the door, so Naruto moved into Namikaze clan mansion. Knowing Sasuke went back into Uchiha mansion, so Naruto opened one letter which said, to my dear son Naruto, I am your father Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage of Leaf Village. If you are reading this, I am dead because I died from using Uzumaki clan's forbidden jutsu death Reaper seal, as you know that jutsu costs the caster's life. Anyways, I am sorry that I made you into third 9 Tails Jinchuriki. I hope you can forgive me putting such a heavy burden. Heck, even 9 Tails was sad that I was not able to live long enough to raise you. Then Naruto opened second letter that said, dear my only son Naruto, I am your mother Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze. And if you're reading this letter, I died from fight against Madara Uchiha. Anyways, Madara threatened your father. If your father does not leave me, Madara would kill you, and especially that he even destroyed your old blankie with explosive tags, except your father saved you with his signature jutsu that made him be known as Yellow Flash, the jutsu known as Lightning Thunder God Jutsu. Heck, your father created Rasengan. He even failed to complete it by adding his chakra affinity to it. After reading his parents' letter, Naruto exclaimed, I will not give up, I will go forwards no matter what. That is my ninja way. He then opened a scroll that revealed everything he needed to know about Rasengan, including how to perform it. At the same time, at Uchiha Mansion, Sasuke began practicing fire-style jutsu that Obito had left him, along with how to use Inferno-style jutsu. Sasuke formed a few two-handed hand signs and said, fire-style Phoenix Flower Jutsu, as he used Phoenix Flower Jutsu to attack a training dummy. He felt himself getting better, knowing that he was also getting better. Eventually, Sasuke left Uchiha Mansion to visit Naruto at Namikaze Mansion to try something that had never been done before, returning something that they always wanted back, even when reviving them was impossible. When Sasuke arrived at the Namikaze Mansion, Naruto yelled, Sasuke, I'm in the training garden. The gate is close by you. Sasuke then asked, Naruto, you know the whole yin-yang chakra thing that is capable of allowing you to create anything out of thin air. I was hoping if it is possible that we get back what we lost, even if some bastards disagree with this. Naruto responded, you know Sasuke, without details how we describe them, it is impossible, and it is impossible to revive our parents is not impossible to create them out of 2 simple key items to make it possible, meaning I need 2 drops of your blood along with 2 drops of my own blood. However, unlike how our parents have any negative energies, these 2 will have all positive combined with memory of them that we grew up to know. After they spilled 2 drops of their blood on the ground, Naruto yelled, Path of All Creation Uchiha 2 and Namikaze 2. Suddenly, Naruto's mother Kushina said, what just happened? I was in a long-term coma and here I am alive. Minato responded, whatever happened, I am happy to see our son grown up into an excellent ninja much like ourselves back when we were genin. However, as Naruto hugged his parents, Makoto remarked, this is strange, last thing I remember is being in some kind of stasis and here I am being alive. Sasuke looked proudly at his parents, and Fugaku responded, who cares Makoto? The only thing I care about is being with our son Sasuke Uchiha. Even when our oldest son is out there somewhere far away from us for whatever reason. After Fugaku spoke, Sasuke hugged his parents, which Naruto explained. I used an ability called Path of All Creations to basically bring you four back to life, and it was a right success because it appears Shinigami approved what I was trying to do, that he gave 4 back to us, meaning your spirits are in the bodies that I created based from imprint of your original bodies. Then Minato said, son, you can't tell how happy I am to see you grown into a fine ninja, and we are proud of you. Then Fugaku said, for first time I actually agree with my old rival here, I am actually proud of you Sasuke, you grown into a fine ninja. So both mothers said, anyways, now that we are a family again, let's go home because we have a lot to make up for when we missed out seeing you grow up into fine ninja like we was back in our Genin days. While Namikaze clan went back home to Namikaze Mansion, Uchiha clan went back home to Uchiha Mansion, knowing that they have a new-founded goal to surpass their parents no matter how challenging it is going to be. When the Namikaze clan got back home, Naruto became sad and asked, would it be okay if Isaribi, my girlfriend, lives with us here in Namikaze Mansion? Which Minato responded, it is fine with me, son, go get Isaribi and bring her home to Namikaze Mansion, since I know that Sasuke is going to bring home his own girlfriend, whoever she is. Then Naruto responded, okay dad, I will be back, and mom, I can't wait to taste your cooking since all I had was ramen with a glass of milk since I am not that good with cooking. So Kushina responded, that is alright, I did love my ramen, except I did always wanted to cook a family meal, and especially my best friend Makoto too always wanted to cook a family meal for her family, even if Itachi has not returned home from whatever condition he suffered from. The following day, Horizon went into the council meeting room and asked, who the damn called this meeting? Danzo responded, I did, and I think that someone should keep an eye on Naruto because what Byanbu Root Spy discovered is that he wields legendary dojutsu, the Rinnegan, meaning I vote he be put on Clan Restoration Act. Then, a man wearing a mask entered the council office and declared, I refuse to have Naruto be put on Clan Restoration Act because he is the hero of Hidden Leaf Village and not a seed bank you clown think he is. Another masked man responded, I agree with him because I will not have Sasuke be put on Clan Restoration Act because his friend Naruto deserves to be treated with respect for saving this village from a frightening creature that can only be tamed by Naruto himself. Heck, he even saved 2 foreign villages with help of Sasuke Uchiha himself. After the second masked man spoke, Hiyashi replied, you two sound rather familiar, yet I might be imagining things because of my memory of 2 that I thought back in Chunin exams. Which the first masked man replied, I am surprised that you remember that match, Hiyashi. I did overpower your rotation with my own type of rotational jutsu. Then the second masked man responded, I did not really like Hyuga-kun because they was more of a rival than Senju clan, except I like to go with plan Naruto has by calling for a clan alliance. So Inoichi inquired, why would you want to form a clan alliance with us who might not be from this village when you will not allow Naruto or Sasuke to be put on Clan Restoration Act? After Inoichi spoke, the first masked man clarified, that is easy, each of you are a respectable clan of this village, except you need to learn that hero of this village of survivor of Uchiha clan is not to be used as seed bank. Gen responded, that is logical for them to follow their own path of happiness, not one from Clan Restoration Act 3 here wants to enact of this village hero and his ally survivor of Uchiha clan. Then Sakano responded, that boy Naruto is a demon and here does not deserve happiness because he caused too much suffering as it is. So the second masked man yelled, call this village's hero demon again, I will enact Lord Hokage Hiruzen's law to personally kill you. The second masked man said, are any of you familiar of Rinnegan's ability to use yin-yang chakra to make anything out of thin air? To which Hamaru replied, Rinnegan is a myth that dojutsu only has eyes from Path of 6 Sages itself and nobody's seen Rinnegan since. Kanharu said, may we ask who you two are before we continue? The second masked man then said, Rinnegan is actually real, and thanks to Naruto who happens to have Rinnegan, we have returned with great pride that we once had before we lost to of serious rivalry. The second masked man asked, have you ever wished that Uchiha clan reforms from the Uchiha Light because Shinigami granted that wish as a gift for Sasuke in exchange for the soul of Madara Uchiha? To which Horizon replied, I did wish that, but what does this have to do with Rinnegan and Shinigami? The first masked man then asked, Lord Hokage Horizon, have you ever dreamed to see your successor being fully well? I enact Lord Hokage Horizon's law, anyone who calls my son demon will be sentenced to death, Minato said as he looked at Sakano Haruno. Would you do the honors, Fugaku? Minato replied, thanks, Minato. I have been wanting to do this for some time. Fugaku then activated his Mangekyo Sharingan and yelled, Mangekyo Sharingan. As Fugaku killed Sakano Haruno, Horizon said, Minato, there is one thing I like to get straight. Will you retake the spot as 4th Hokage or will you want your selected successor to claim spot as 5th Hokage due time? Horizon said, my chosen successor may take spot as 5th Hokage because many people ignored my orders and that is why they don't deserve to see me being Hokage. Heck, if I knew they would mistreat my son I would have allowed Kyuubi to kill them, only leaving those who honor my son as this village hero to survive such an attack. Fugaku then turned to face Danzo and said, hear these words, Danzo, if you try to do something to my son or Minato's son I promise that I will redirect the hatred I used to have on Senju clan right to you, ensuring you a dishonorable death no matter how Lord Hokage Horizon is against it. Minato and Fugaku left the council room together, knowing that they had made their point, one that the council will adhere to no matter how difficult it is to ignore it. Following the departure of the two allied clan leaders, Danzo said, I suggest that someone keep an eye on Naruto because he has become too important to be not allowed out of village with protection of Anbu Black Ops. Horizon responded, I disapprove of such an act Danzo, you should heed their words because if you ignore their orders there will be a race between them or me to end you no matter how much Anbu you have I will degree kill on sight order on you. Horizon then said, by order of my degree Sukuna Haruno wife of eliminated leader of Haruno. As a result, everyone went back to their homes, with the exception of Danzo, who went to his Anbu root base to plan have power of Rinnegan and Sharingan under Anbu root force. That meeting was not interesting as I hoped it was because a bastard named Sakano Haruno called our son demon until Fugaku Uchiha killed him with Mangekyo Sharingan. In particular, I was one of the people who asked Fugaku to kill Sakano. And the only good thing is that people will watch what they say insofar as they do not wish to be killed by us or Uchihas, Minato said as he returned home to Namikaze Mansion. That is good Minato my love, heck our son is back home with our guest Isaribi, in particular the guest of Uchiha Mansion is Maisha Kenisha Saravor of Kanisha family. Following Kushina's speech, the Namikaze clan retired to their room and fell asleep, unaware that the Chunin exams were approaching. However, as Naruto slept soundly beside Isaribi, he dreamed that he was facing Madara Uchiha and feeling compelled to fulfill Kyuubi's deepest desire to eliminate Madara Uchiha. When Naruto woke up the following day, he thought, what was that Kyuubi? It felt like nothing I ever dreamed before. Kyuubi clarified, Kit, that was voice of your courage by vision saying that you will never give up no matter what because that is your ninja way. Naruto grinned, thinking, I did not need vision to tell me that I will never surrender, I will never give up, that is my ninja way. Isaribi woke up after Naruto did, and the two of them went to the living room to eat breakfast. After eating breakfast with Naruto's parents, they went for a pleasant, peaceful walk until Naruto encountered 3 unfamiliar shinobi and a young, unfamiliar leaf villager. Naruto then went to Isaribi to confront the 3 shinobi, but as soon as they got there, he said, hey you with the make up, leave him alone and try someone your size. A serious, unfamiliar ninja then threatened to kill Kunkuro if he continued. Then a female voice said, we are here for Chunin exams and whoever you are we are not here to fight because we are ordered to get over to our hotel room. To which Naruto replied, you with panda-like eyes, who are you? Gaara turned to face Naruto and said, I am Gaara Sabuko and when we face each other mother shall have your bloodleaf ninja. Kunkuro then said, fine Gaara, I will leave this brat alone and try this guy instead. To which Naruto responded, you are not from this village and attacking me is worse than picking on an academy student. After Gaara finished speaking, Naruto said, Gaara, that is Shukaku talking, and if he thinks that he is going to have jailbreak freedom he can guess again because I am going to fix that poorly designed seal or yours, and reason why I know you have Shukaku it is because Kyuubi told me. Naruto then made a few two-handed gestures as he said, sealing jutsu 3-pillar seal repair. As Gaara glanced at his 2 siblings, he said, in return for having my seal fixed I am going to return a favor by telling my fellow Jinchuriki here what our Kage's plan, because if I know our father well our father would never pull off such a vile act like this. Kunkuro then asked, can we trust this guy, he is not from our village, heck we have no idea what his name is. When Temari saw Naruto he asked, what is your name? Leaf Ninja, which Naruto responded, my name is Naruto. Namikaze, only son of 4th Hokage and Red Death. Then Gaara clarified, the guy that claims to be our father plans to attack Hidden Leaf Village with a team of hidden sound shinobi and some of our village's own shinobi. Plus I was to use Shukaku to deal even more damage to Hidden Leaf Village, which Naruto responded, I cannot have this guy catching out that I know of his plan, and if we end up facing each other in the final match of Chunin exams I shall face you. I am trying to earn title of Chunin rank shinobi as you do the same. And then Gaara said, Until we meet again Naruto, I will only inform Sand Shinobi who honors your father, ensuring easier chance for hidden sound shinobi to die like vile scum that they are. Following Gaara's speech, Sabuko's siblings left for their hotel, while Naruto went to tell the third Hokage what Gaara had told him. Horizon responded, "All right, Naruto, I am entrusting you this as an A-rank mission, and what you've been told, there is only the possibility the guy you were talking about is my ex-student, a trader of Leaf Village by the name of Orochimaru." Naruto then said, "All right, don't tell me what I told you because I planned with Gaara the old fake leaf and sand trick, meaning that with the help of Hidden Sand Village's Jinchuriki, we are going to pull off the OLF bait and strike trick." Meanwhile, Minato handed Naruto his own Tring Kunai, saying, "Wait, this is going to need this because if Hidden Leaf Village is going to be under attack, you're going to need to use this, give you an advantage against Hidden Sound Village shinobi, especially that former Sannin is back." When Minato gave Naruto his own tri-pronged, he said, "Thank you Dad, and let Isaribi sign the Toad summoning contract because I am going to call upon a rather different sort of summoning animal to give me a hand, meaning if Orochimaru summons some snakes I will call upon my ultimate ally, the very one that you two defeated years ago, and don't worry, he will fight to protect the leaf from whatever Orochimaru summons up, except if he use forbidden jutsu I will use bloodline of Uzumaki clan sealing chakra chains to bind whatever Orochimaru summons up with a forbidden jutsu of his." When Naruto finished speaking, Minato replied, "All right, son, I will let Isaribi sign Toad summoning contract. As long you promise to use power of the fox to protect Hidden Leaf Village, which Minato goes to offer Isaribi sign Toad summoning contract." And then Naruto responded, "Mum, you're going to need help, and only way that happen is that I find the other half of Fox Chakra to create some kind of summoning animal that only you will be able to summon up." So Kushina responded, "No need to do that son, I have summoning animal of my own anyways, and that is none other than legendary Uzumaki dragons that Hashirama's wife signed with Heck. Hashirama Senju's wife is Mito Uzumaki original Nine Tails Jinchuriki, plus she is grandmother of legendary Sannin called Tsunade Senju the Slug Princess." While everyone else went to sleep, Naruto thought, "Kyuubi, why wasn't I told that you had Jinchuriki before mother?" Kyuubi responded, "I don't remember that much, to be honest. I think that was time Mito Uzumaki made herself into Jinchuriki by sealing me into her own self, and if what say is true I have some explaining to you, plus her granddaughter, since this is S-rank secret only those born with Uzumaki blood are allowed to know, especially that it involves that bastard Madara Uchiha." Ibiki said, "Right, maggots, rules of this part are if you get caught cheating you along with your two teammates fail." Naruto responded, "Information gathering, that is easy because I already know answers, even answer to the 10th question." Ibiki then approached Naruto, saying, "You may be equally smart your parents, but I don't think you know answer to question even Lord Hokage himself unable to answer." Naruto responded, "Answer how to defeat Tora and return that crazy cat is to use a genjutsu to make Tora into a friendly cat." Then Ibiki responded, "That is good answer Naruto, your team has passed, and just between us here should join interrogation unit because we could do with someone with your level of intelligence." Which Naruto responded with, "I rather make myself be known as Yellow Flash II or even Fox Sannin." And Ibiki responded, "You have long way until you reach that level, kid, and specially you still have while to reach level of a cage Hector's own is Land of Fire's feudal lord." Afterwards Sasuke stated, "I have completed written exams and I have even figured out how to unlock Mangekyo Sharingan without following Wool of Hatred by following Path of Izuna Uchiha, first Uchiha born with Uchiha Light." Isaribi responded by saying, "I have also completed written exams and I figured out Tenzo, a member of Enbu Black Ops, is in fact survivor of Senju clan, much like Tsunade, another member of Senju clan." Then Sasuke responded, "Ibiki, could you fetch Tenzo Senju?" So Ibiki inquired, "What do you want from Tenzo Senju Sasuke Uchiha?" Sasuke responded, "I want end hatred my clan has on Senju clan with a challenge never been used before, clan rivalry challenge with Naruto being referee. I accept your challenge, Sasuke. I can't wait for our clan's hatred to finally die because it will be the birth of friendly clan rivalry since days of the legendary Uzumaki clan of Uzushiogakure, also known as Hidden Eddy Village." Ibiki wrote a message after Sasuke spoke, and Ibiki had Messenger Hawk deliver it. 10 minutes later, Tenzo arrived, and Sasuke stood up to face Tenzo. While holding Tenzo's hand, Sasuke said, "This time Tenzo, the Uchiha clan will be victorious because with Uchiha Light guided by Path of Izuna Uchiha I will give it my all to defeat you last two of Senju clan, and let's take this to Chunin exams arena where everyone can see who shall be victorious." Which Tenzo responded, "Agreed, except Senju clan will be victorious like Mito always. Wool of Courage is born from Wool of Fire." When Naruto saw this, Naruto responded, What do you know of my great-great-aunt Tenzo? Only those with blood of Uzumaki know her secret I inherited, as my mother is from same clan as Mito. After Naruto finished speaking, Tenzo said, I am your distant cousin and Tsunade is your distant cousin. Heck, Tsunade is your father's successor, making you automatically Tsunade's successor. Tenzo then left to train while Anko arrived, and Ibiki said, you are yet again early, Anko. It has become a rather bothersome to some of us. To which Anko replied, you have gotten soft, Ibiki. Look how many teams left anyways. I only see one person that I like to get a taste of. Survivor of Namikaze clan, Naruto Namikaze, the only son of Lord Hokage Minato Namikaze. As Anko attempted to cut Naruto's check, Naruto blocked attack with his Prom Kunai, knowing that Anko was vile as a former Sannin named Orochimaru. I have removed the curse mark from you, and with that you no longer able to summon the same snakes Orochimaru summons, because you are now able to summon blue snakes, in particular summon boss of blue snakes Salazar. Naruto explained after noticing a curse mark on Anko's neck and saying, Petra Path curse mark deletion jutsu. Anko responded, thank you for releasing me from my former sensei's influence. I will repay you no matter what the elders think. Your light of Hidden Leaf Village that guides us away from darkness. Then Anko clarified, right, you lot get over to Forest of Death before the time runs out, and if you don't arrive on time, you along with your two teammates fail. Except those who arrive on time get to take second part of Chunin exams. Subsequently Naruto stated, we are not afraid to continue the Chunin exams because we will make ourselves be known as new legendary Sannin while I work to be Hokage like my dad Minato Namikaze Hidden Leaf's Yellow Flash. So Sasuke responded, Naruto is right, we will never give up because that is Naruto's Nindo, our ninja way. As Isaribi said, I agree with Sasuke, our team will never give up no matter challenging life appears to be. Sakura looked dissatisfied and said, oh please, I bet you stole answers from Sasuke and I bet your parents die of shame that you're their son. Which Naruto responded with, look you annoying bitch, you have no idea who my parents are, and when we face each other I will kick your ass, and especially that vile father of yours shall see you get hit with my father's own jutsu even when my parents are alive, thanks to me Naruto Namikaze Yellow Flash II. And then Sasuke responded, shut the hell up dead last, you know nothing about me or Naruto since Isaribi is more superior than Udobi. So Isaribi responded, you Sakura are done for because Haruno clan are hereby enemy of Uchiha and Namikaze until Haruno redeems itself to Naruto Namikaze, next head of Namikaze clan. Knowing that she still wanted to taste Naruto Namikaze's blood, Anko took a shortcut to the Forest of Death as everyone else was leaving. When she got there, she thought, I sense that Orochimaru is somewhere and I will catch him by disguising myself as a genin because Lord Hokage Horizon already informed other Jonin my plan I came up with thanks to Naruto giving me the courage to follow plan without needing to worry about any stress-related confusion. Some genin teams arrived on time, while other teams did not. Following the arrival of the genin teams, Anko stated, alright, you lot, rules of this part of Chunin exams is that you have to have 2 scrolls to pass this part of the Chunin exams, and if there is any rule breaking, the team breaks the rules will be automatically disqualified. Then Isaribi responded, don't worry Anko, we are not afraid to enter Forest of Death because my boyfriend survivor of Namikaze clan along with his teammate survivor of Uchiha clan, we will surpass those before us. So Sasuke responded, whatever the danger in Forest of Death we face, I say bring it on. No danger is threat to a Uchiha like me, and especially no danger is match for Naruto. Following Sasuke's speech, Naruto declared, I know whatever I find there I will fight whatever danger to protect Isaribi and Sasuke Uchiha because I am the one that will be 6th Hokage. Anko then handed a scroll to each genin team, and after Team 7 had passed through their own entrance, Naruto said, there is a spot where we can set up our defense because if there is one thing I know, genin team from Hidden Rock Village will want revenge for what my father did years ago back in the days of the Third Great Ninja War. Team 7 proceeded to their defense point, aware that Naruto would eventually want to be killed. Naruto saw a strange scroll lying on the ground as Team 7 reached their defense point. He picked it up and unrolled it to discover that it was a summoning scroll of Shinigami. Naruto thought, what the ramen, I never seen such a scroll before, and it has symbol of Uzumaki clan, the clan my mother is from. Kyuubi looked shocked and remarked, that is one of legendary scrolls of Uzumaki clan, the ancient summoning scroll of Shinigami, and do you know what this means, Naruto? Following his reply, Naruto asked, what does this mean? Kyuubi, I only know that it is something to do with some kind of jutsu I have complete access to. Which? Kyuubi responded, Naruto, it means that you have power to revive impossible amount of people without paying price of your own soul, in words the Hidden Eddy Village otherwise known as Uzushiogakure, is rightfully yours. Then Naruto pondered, what about my goal to be Hokage? I can't be Hokage if I decide to live in Uzushiogakure. So Kyuubi responded. That is true, except you will be able to inherit the title of Uzukage from your grandfather of Uzumaki clan Rasenko Uzumaki. Thereby, Naruto Namikaze Yodamain Uzukage. That does sound like a nice ring to it, except I don't know if people accept me being leader of Uzushiogakure. Kyuubi began to giggle and said, Naruto, everyone there will call you Uzukage-sama because you are hero of Hidden Leaf Village, destined to be Yodamain of Uzushiogakure. Heck, if I was a human of that village I would follow you until I die as its village hero. Then Naruto pondered, alright, it is decided I will leave Hidden Leaf Village due time because there are a lot things I need to plan, including to have Sasuke Uchiha become 6th Hokage unless Sasuke wishes to join me. So Kyuubi responded, he would not want to leave Hidden Leaf Village, and if that happens the person that will possibly become 6th Hokage will be none other than Kakashi Hitaki, prized student of your father Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. When Naruto saw Sasuke, he said, Sasuke, I know that this might break my goal to be Hokage. I need to ask you what your backup goal is, which Sasuke responded. My backup goal? Well, that is easy. My backup goal is to see that Uzushiogakure is restored to its rightfully place as 6th member of 6 great nations. And why you asked me about my backup goal, I don't know. Then Naruto responded, Uzushiogakure is homeland of my mother's clan, the Uzumaki clan, and as I am born with Uzumaki blood, the seat of Uzukage is rightfully mine to inherit, and specially my grandfather Raisiko Uzumaki is the 3rd Uzukage successor of my great-grandfather Kaitenko Uzumaki. But when Isaribi woke up, Uzukage Isaribi was thinking, Isaribi, wife of 4th Uzukage, damn, that gives me chills of great pride. Look what we have here. Son of the bastard that defeated our lord Tsuchikage and his 2 allies. Isaribi thought as the Hidden Rock Village Genin team arrived. Naruto then said, Akunoichi of Hidden Rock Village and her 2 Genin team members, your hatred on my father made you predictable, because those who only want revenge intend to be easier to lure than a member of Hidden Rock Village, especially their Kage, one of my allies. Sasuke then asked, what is your name? Kunoichi of Hidden Rock Village. To which Kuretsuchi responded, my name is Kuretsuchi and this is Akatsuchi, as one next to him is Katsuchi, but you may call us Namikaze's executioner. When 3 Hidden Rock Village Genin began to form hand signs to attack Naruto, Naruto repelled their attack by saying, Shinra Tensai. Then, pointing at the 3 Hidden Rock Genin, Naruto said, my father is equally as hero I am, and it is time that I become known as Hidden Leaf Village's Orange Flash. Naruto then teleported in an Orange Flash, appearing behind the 3 Hidden Rock Genin. Knowing that the legendary Orange Flash's prophecy was about to come true, Naruto began to form a Rasengan, and he yelled, Rasengan, as he struck them with the Rasengan, knocking their scroll directly to Sasuke. As Sasuke picked it up, 3 Hidden Rock Genin left, which Team 7 started to walk towards tower until a Hidden Grass Genin appeared, which Hidden Rock Genin said, finally, I have found my prey and it is time that I do what I have planned. So Naruto thought, something does not feel right about this Genin, this guy stinks high heaven of snakes, not kind. Anko used to smell of. Then Kyuubi replied, that is no Genin kit, that is a ninja much stronger than a Genin ranked shinobi, and way that guy fights, I say you 3 are in trouble, as that guy is a Sannin. But as Hidden Grass Genin looked to see Sasuke activated his Sharingan, Hidden Grass Genin thought, at last the Sharingan, and with that I will have power to destroy Hidden Leaf Village along with my foolish sensei Horizon Saratobi, but the other one here is wielder of Rinnegan, meaning if I have that I will be powerful enough to kill my sensei plus destroy Hidden Leaf Village without getting damaged by shinobi of Hidden Leaf Village. Heck, I would finally rid myself of Akatsuki. Following his thought of explosive clone jutsu, Sasuke swiftly made a 2-handed sign. Then, an explosive clone of Sasuke appeared, stretching its neck as he bit it. The Hidden Grass Genin then said, my name is Orochimaru, and if you want more power come to me at Hidden Sound Village base. However, as Sasuke's explosive clone grinned, Sasuke said, that sounds tempting, Orochimaru, would you like to receive my answer for that offer you offered me? Naruto grinned like a fox, and Orochimaru responded, very well Sasuke Uchiha, avenger of Uchiha clan, what is the answer of my offer? After Orochimaru finished speaking, Sasuke's explosive clone said, my thank you is in an explosion. Then, Naruto said, traitor of Hidden Leaf, former member of legendary Sannin, you have fallen right into a trap, and now it is time that you pay for your betrayal. Naruto made a hand gesture and yelled, wind-style great breakthrough. Orochimaru escaped as Naruto attacked him, but as he did, Orochimaru managed to escape. Naruto looked at Isaribi and thought, I will have to report to Lord Hokage Horizon because the traitor, Orochimaru, the Snake Sannin, has finally made an appearance plus whatever he wants with Sasuke, and whatever he wants with Sasuke, I know that it is bad news, especially none of us are cage-level ninja. We must report to Lord Hokage Horizon because with Orochimaru who made an appearance something bad is going to happen to this village and I am no way going to allow that to happen, and especially that my father loves this village as a family loves its sibling, Naruto said, looking at his two teammates. Sasuke responded, I agree with you, and how are we going to pass this part of exam at the same time we report what happened? Isaribi responded, that is easy Sasuke, we send a message to Lord Hokage Horizon because with that not only can we pass this part of exam, we can even report that traitor Orochimaru the Snake Sannin made an appearance in the Forest of Death, except we can mention that we foiled Orochimaru's plan to mark you Sasuke with a curse mark. Sasuke nodded, and Naruto wrote that Orochimaru has been sighted in the Forest of Death, while Isaribi assists him in protecting Naruto from those who hate him. After writing a message, Naruto made some two-handed hand gestures and slammed his hand down while shouting, summoning jutsu. Shinigami then appeared and asked, Mortal, what is it that you have summoned me for? To which Naruto replied, I need you to send this message here over to Lord Hokage Horizon because the traitor Orochimaru the Snake Sannin has returned to Hidden Leaf Village for some kind of dictatorous purpose. Shinigami then took the message from Naruto and said, Mortal, your strength is rather impressive and I like to profit you an offer that I know you will like, especially that it gives you an advantage against my number one target Madara Uchiha. Heck, if you give me soul of someone like Hidan, a true immortal, I dare to reward you with one wish that cannot be granted by the power of your dojutsu, the Path of Six Sages' Eyes, the Rinnegan. As Naruto kept calm, Naruto said, let me get this straight. Two immortals that should have died have denied you their soul and you would grant me one with forgiving you. Soul of an immortal, which Shinigami replied, that is correct mortal, and if you give me both of their souls you will be rewarded with someone that no mortal has ever had before, except I want the souls of an organization known as Akatsuki because their foolishness to plan capture 9 of you special mortals that hones 9 bijus really get on my nerves by saying that their way of death is honorable when their task is not honorable at all. Then Naruto said, very well, I shall give you soul of Orochimaru as first of dishonorable souls for you to imprison any way that you see fit. So Shinigami went to deliver the message to Lord Hokage Horizon while Team 7 went up to the tower to complete second part of Chunin exams, knowing that Orochimaru is not only dishonorable souls that is in the Chunin exams, but as Team 7 got to the tower they handed 2 scrolls over to Hidden Leaf's Jonin to show that they have passed the second part of the Chunin exams even when they had to deal with issue of Orochimaru pulling of a dishonorable scheme. Horizon was signing documents at the Hokage office when Shinigami appeared and asked, are you the third Hokage Horizon Saratobi? Horizon responded, I am, and I believe that you are Shinigami the Death Reaper. Shinigami then explained, I am in Horizon, here is a message that my summoner Naruto sent you. As Shinigami was ready to leave, Shinigami explained, Naruto Namikaze has blood of the Uzumaki clan, because of that he has access to a couple of Uzumaki clan's forbidden jutsu because I allowed him to have access of 2 Uzumaki clan's forbidden jutsu in exchange that he gives me soul of the dishonorable people, including one that is called Madara Uchiha, former leader of the Uchiha clan. As Shinigami poofed back home, Horizon thought, alright, time to see what this message says, and if Naruto has access to only 2 forbidden jutsu of Uzumaki clan's forbidden jutsu, it means that Naruto must be planning something to ensure Hidden Leaf Village is protected from future threats. After Horizon thought to himself, Horizon called in some Anbu which they arrived. Then Horizon explained, listen, Hidden Leaf Village is going to be attacked by my former student Orochimaru and his shinobi, but thanks to Naruto Namikaze we have the upper hand. Heck, I think Team 7 deserve to be promoted to Chunin rank shinobi for doing damage to Orochimaru's plan, so Anbu with Fist Mask said, we will set up some traps that only can be triggered by shinobi of Hidden Sound Village. And what are we going to do about Chunin exams now that Orochimaru has returned? But as Horizon smiled, Horizon said, we are going to use it to draw Orochimaru in the cage boss because that is perfect place for me to do what I should have done years ago by eliminating Orochimaru, former member of our village's legendary Sannin. While Anbu left Hokage office to begin setting traps that only be triggered by Hidden Sound Village shinobi, Horizon thought, Minato, as I die you shall resume your duty as 4th Hokage because I can to kill Orochimaru or at least do a lot more damage to Orochimaru's plan by taking away much of his forbidden jutsu as I can possibly take away. While back at Forest for Death, Team 7 went into the tower knowing that the other Genin teams are on the way, but as Naruto looked at Isaribi and his friend Sasuke Uchiha, Naruto said, "I got word that message has been delivered to Lord Hokage Horizon, and I know that Gaara would want to help me out battle Snake summons. Because if Hidden Leaf gets destroyed, it will take a good time to restore Hidden Leaf Village. Even if I use my Rinnegan, it still take time to restore Hidden Leaf Village." So Isaribi said, "I know how you feel. I used to be in nasty fish-like condition until I was restored to my former beauty by a ninja of Hidden Leaf Village that goes by the name Keisenyo Maikento, otherwise known as Leaf's Ocean Warrior." As Sasuke Sayed calm, Sasuke said, "I agree, Hidden Sound Shinobi must be stopped because Hidden Leaf Village is the village that every one of us cares about, even when there are some people deserve to die for betraying wish of Lord Hokage Minato Namikaze, the Hidden Leaf's yellow flash." Following Sasuke's speech, the other Genin teams arrived with Anko. Anko said, "Congrats, those who had 2 scrolls have passed, and those who did not get here have failed meeting. Those who failed have been escorted to medical center for treatment." Naruto then said, "That's good, and Anko Orochimaru has been sighted, except when he tried to mark Sasuke with a curse mark, he ended up getting caught by a trap." Sasuke went on to explain, "Orochimaru is hiding somewhere in this village, and Chunin exams are now being used as trap to catch Orochimaru. Especially that his plan to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village is going to be foiled by us, the Shinobi of Hidden Leaf Village, with help from Shinobi of Hidden Sand Village." Anko grinned and agreed that she too would assist in foiling Orochimaru's plan to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village, regardless of the assistance he has managed to obtain in his evil scheme. The Genin teams entered the tower after Anko approved the plan, but as they all entered, they encountered their sensei, who was then followed by exam prompter Hayate. Exam prompter Hayate then stated, "Okay, this portion of the Chunin exams is called Preliminaries Round, and the rules of this part are no killing or use of forbidden jutsu." Naruto closed his eyes, thinking, "This is going to be interesting, and I may have obtained summoning contract of Shinigami. I have no actual summoning contract." After Naruto had a moment to reflect, Kyuubi replied, "That is because you have not got taught how to do summoning jutsu, except since you already know that. You need to find summoning contract that is animal based. For an example, your father signed the Toad summoning contract while your mom signed Uzumaki Dragon summoning contract." Then Naruto pondered, "Uzumaki Dragon summoning contract that has not been found yet, and that sort of summoning contract has been lost since days of Mito Uzumaki Senju." So Kyuubi responded, "Actually kid, I might know there it is hidden, and it is kinda dangerous because you need to go through the ancient temple of Saikenzo Uzumaki, the original Uzumaki clan leader, and specially that no Uzumaki, even you mother, ever able to find such a place." When Naruto smiled, he thought, "You mean the only building in the ruins of Uzushiogakure that remains untouched?" Which Kyuubi responded, "That is the place, Naruto, and why you managed to figure out where it is shows that you are more special than anyone has ever thought. Heck, you are one that defeated me just by being my 3rd Jinchuriki. And especially that my other half of my chakra is hidden inside the Hokage mountain where your father's face been crafted." Then Naruto pondered, "Excellent, stop one Hokage mountain to obtain your other half of your chakra, even if it taken form into a different colored 9-tailed demon fox." So Kyuubi clarified, "That is entirely possible, making your mother basically one again my Jinchuriki, except she will only be what I call half Jinchuriki." So Naruto laughed, knowing that it would make another put an end to Madara's scheme. Following his laughter, each of the following people had their turn until they were left: Naruto Namikaze, Neji Hyuga, Shikamaru Nara, Gaara Sabuko, Tamari Sabuko, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, Isaribi, Kuretsuchi, and Akatsuchi. Kuretsuchi then turned to face Naruto, thinking, "Whatever you're thinking, you better let go of hatred you have on my father, because if you don't you will never be able to defeat me. Especially that you can't defeat someone like me even if you did let go of hatred you have on my father Minato Namikaze, the Hidden Leaves Yellow Flash." After Naruto pondered, Kuretsuchi's sensei Roshi and his friend Han appeared. Roshi asked, "Are you Naruto Namikaze, the son of Yellow Flash and legendary Red Death?" To which Naruto responded, "I am, and I can tell you we're here not for revenge but for something rather in common with the same purpose that I have." Han then said, "That is true, we are not here for revenge, except I did not think we would meet number 9 because myself and Roshi have one thing in common. We are related to you by the title of being a Jinchuriki." Gaara then approached Naruto, saying, "Looks like each of us have a common goal to show people that we are not our tailed beasts, because we are the ones that protect our tailed beasts from a threat that none of us except you Naruto know about, the threat known as Madara Uchiha." After Gaara finished speaking, he explained, Each of us has a dream and it is up to us to fulfill our dream because I know that someday we will all meet up together for a common goal that I feel to be our destiny. Han left for home, while Gaara returned to his team. At the same time, Roshi returned to his Genin team, so each of the 10 finalists was given a number from the boss to determine who would face whom in the Chunin exams. As Naruto looked at his number, he thought, I am your Jinchuriki and what a shocker. My number is number 9, meaning whoever is number 10 is going to face me, Naruto Namikaze, the hero of Hidden Leaf Village. Sakura, on the other hand, she thought, damn it, I am number 10 and I was hoping to settle my rivalry with Ino Pig, and especially that she thinks Sasuke is going to be hers when Sasuke will be mine no matter how he feels. When Ino saw her phone number she thought, oh common. I was hoping to have whatever number that gives me chance to settle my rivalry with Billboard Brow Sakura. Because Sasuke will be mine no matter how Sakura feels. And whoever Sasuke is with, I hope he leaves her for me, a more skilled Kunoichi. Then Sasuke chuckled and said, wait, this looks like I am going to be up against Ino Yamanka, and once we fight I will make sure that she leaves me alone, and especially that I prefer Ino targeting that guy named Sai. Then Sasuke asked, what number have you got, Naruto? And Naruto responded, I got number 10, and whatever number you got I wish you luck, my friend, because we have a goal that we shall fulfill no matter who we are up against. Following Naruto's speech, Sasuke responded, I agree with you, Naruto. We will pass this part of the Chunin exams, and whoever ends up in the final match, we will give it all we have to show that we will be one that shall surpass our parents no matter how challenging it is going to be. Everyone else went home, while those who weren't from Hidden Leaf Village went back to their hotel because they knew that things would be more difficult than they had anticipated. When Naruto returned to Namikaze Mansion, Sasuke returned to Uchiha Mansion, where they grinned proudly, hoping to face the 2 dead last girls who were vying for Sasuke Uchiha's hand in marriage, despite the fact that Sasuke already had a girlfriend of his own. This was made possible by Naruto's encouragement when they used to live together as clan allies, especially the fact that Isaribi and Sasuke's girlfriend moved back to their current residence. Thank you, Dad and Mom. I am going to take a good walk through the little forest near us because I am getting a strange feeling that something there is emanating some kind of chakra signature that is greater than my own without being powered up by Kyuubi, Naruto said as he had breakfast with Isaribi and his parents the following day. Dad, could you teach Isaribi summoning jutsu? Minato responded, sure son, I can teach Isaribi summoning jutsu. After Naruto finished speaking, Kushina said, alright Naruto, don't be too long because I am preparing for something special for you since today is your birthday. Naruto then proceeded to a small forest close to Namikaze Mansion, where he discovered a symbol of the Namikaze clan. He touched it, which caused a seal to deactivate, granting him access to the forest. As he continued walking through the forest, he discovered a summoning contract scroll lying on the ground. As he picked it up, the scroll's chakra signature responded to Naruto's without even knowing which animal he had picked up, but Naruto brought it back to Namikaze Mansion to show Minato what he had discovered. When Naruto showed his father the summoning contract, he asked, what is this summoning contract and why was it emanating a chakra signature to me? To which Minato replied, I don't believe in all my years of being ninja none of Namikaze clan members ever found this summoning contract, and you managed it to find it without any trouble, shows you surpassed Namikaze clan members before us. Naruto then asked, can I sign this summoning contract? Kushina responded, sure Naruto, whatever that summon animal connected to that summoning contract trusts you enough to emit a chakra signature that guided you. As Naruto opened the summoning contract, he signed it with his blood, securing his position as the first fox summoner, while Isaribi signed the toad summoning contract with her own blood, unsure of the type of foxes connected to the fox summoning contract. Following the signing of the summoning contract, Naruto went outside and made some 2 hand-in-hand gestures. Then, as he slammed his hand down, a yellow fox emerged and said, hello summoner, my name is Foxaki. What is your name? To which Naruto replied, it's nice to meet you, Foxaki. My name is Naruto Namikaze. Please don't call me Naruto-sama because the whole Sama thing is not really my sort of thing that I want people to call me, especially if I become the head of Namikaze clan. As Foxaki stood up, he said, no need to worry, I never call anyone Sama, not even your resident, because anyone that has fox-based marking of whatever is okay with me. How the ramen did you know about my resident? I have told nobody but my friend Gaara, asked Naruto, looking perplexed. That is easy, he lived with his foxes many years ago, way before he was sealed into one of Honorable Uzumaki's, said Naruto. That would be Mito Uzumaki Senju, the wife of first Hokage Hashirama Senju. Anyway, Naruto, if you wish to become an official fox summoner you need to pass a test, and test I am talking about is sort of honorable offering that nobody has ever offered as foxes. However, as Naruto pulled a container containing a rice ball out of his pocket, he asked, "Is this sort of thing that is honorable offering, or is it ramen that is honorable offering?" Following his words, Foxaki responded, "That tasty thing. Inside this container is equally honorable offering to ramen, and since you offered this, you are hereby official fox summoner, meaning whenever you need help, we shall come forth to assist you no matter what our opponent turns out to be." Then Naruto pondered, "Kyuubi, you know anything about Yellow Fox Clan?" So Kyuubi responded, "Yellow Fox Clan are one of the most honorable of summoning creatures because unlike the Toad's Yellow Fox Clan honor the courage of those who dared to look at me face to face without being afraid. Heck, last human had courage to do that was your mother Kushina." When Foxaki was about to return home, Foxiobi Mountain, otherwise known as Land of Foxes, Naruto said, "Thank you for accepting me to be ever first fox summoner, and I will show that Yellow Fox Clan are a powerful force to honor no matter who I am up against." As Foxaki poofed back home with Fox summoning scroll, Naruto returned back home, which Naruto said, "I have passed the test that Yellow Fox issued me, and I am now the very first fox summoner. Heck, all I had to do was offer rice ball or bowl of ramen, since they have the same taste as I have, and specially that fox summoning contract was hidden right into the secret forest of Namikaze clan, except I have no idea why fox summoning contract was located there." The Minato explained, that summoning contract appeared in our clan's own forest. It means that a yellow fox left it there, for you find, and specially that they must have foreseen some kind of prophecy that not even Grand Toad Sage seen, a prophecy that only Grand Fox Sage foreseen. So Kushina said, "Naruto, whatever the Grand Fox Sage thinks about you, I know that we are proud of you and Isaribi." While Naruto looked at Isaribi with pride, Naruto thought, "Isaribi, I know that you would make an excellent Toad Sage someday in the future, like me being an excellent Fox Sage in the future." It was dark when everyone went to sleep because tomorrow is the start of the semi-final Chunin exam matches. Then, as Naruto was sleeping peacefully next to Isaribi, he had a dream in which everyone in Hidden Leaf Village cheered for him to kill Madara Uchiha, the former leader of the Uchiha clan, who believed in Uchiha darkness, using the will of hatred. However, when Naruto woke up at the same time as Isaribi, it was the day of the quarter-final Chunin exams, so Naruto changed from his bedtime outfit to his ninja gear, knowing Isaribi was doing the same. Meanwhile, the couple went to the living room to eat breakfast ramen. The following day, Naruto changed out of his bedtime clothes and put on his ninja gear. He then went into the living room to have breakfast with Isaribi and his parents. Minato said, "Son, why don't you go for a spar with Isaribi?" To which Naruto replied, "Sure dad, that does sound rather nice, and I could do with a good relaxation because tomorrow the semi-finals of the Chunin exams begin." Isaribi took Naruto's hand and said, "Alright, we will be back in time for dinner or whatever time you think is best." However, just as the couple was ready to depart, Kushina said, "Come back in time for dinner, and Naruto, watch out for your father's sensei, he can be kinda perverted at times, especially if he writes those infuriating icha books." After Kushina spoke, the couple went up to the spar for a good relaxation, but as they arrived they noticed a white-haired man trying to peep into a bathhouse, which Naruto threw his tri-pronged kunai near the white-haired man as Naruto teleported to white-haired man in a yellow flash. Then Naruto said, "Hey, you leave the innocent women alone, they don't want men like you peeping on them for whatever purpose you have in mind." Which white-haired man turned to look at Naruto as white-haired man said, "I am author of Icha, author of Tale of Gutsy Ninja, Toad Sage, Sensei of Minato Namikaze, member of legendary Sannin and student of 3rd Hokage Horizon Saratobi the Gallant Jiraiya." So Naruto said, "You taught 4th Hokage, and 4th Hokage taught my sensei Kakashi Hitaki, except Kakashi is now teaching his own sensei's son, me Naruto Namikaze, wielder of the legendary Path of 6 Sages Dojutsu the Rinnegan." But as Jiraiya looked a tiny bit shocked, Jiraiya asked, "Who told you who your parents are when you was supposed to be told when you reach the rank of Chunin?" As Naruto smiled with pride, Naruto explained, "Lord Hokage Horizon told me in exchange for the secret how to deal with paperwork and speaking about my father. I brought him along with my mother plus Sasuke's parents back to life with special jutsu of the Rinnegan that I have discovered." Which Jiraiya said, "Your opponent is member of Haruno clan, and I faced many opponents like a member of Haruno clan, and especially that your father was like a son to me, meaning I am basically your godfather." Then Isaribi said, "You call yourself his godfather when you should have been there to protect Naruto from being mistreated. I'd say you're pervy sage, not a godfather or a toad sage." So Jiraiya said, "Listen, Young when I wanted to take Naruto with me except certain people of Hidden Leaf Village Council denied me of that, but as Naruto went to shield Isaribi, Naruto said, "You are a Sannin, not a pawn for Council of Hidden Leaf Village to use, and not ignoring the Hidden Leaf Village's council's decision. You have failed my parents' wish, causing me to fight for myself, except if it wasn't for Kyuubi I would have been killed by some Hidden Leaf Village shinobi that attacked me some years ago." While Jiraiya looked at Naruto with shame, Jiraiya said, "I am sorry I was not there for you. I wish to make it up to you by teaching you a jutsu that I know work against member of Haruno clan." After Jiraiya spoke, Naruto replied, "Very well Jiraiya, I accept your apology, and I like to know what jutsu you are going to teach me in Isaribi." Which Jiraiya explained, "Before I teach you a jutsu I need to know what jutsus you already know." Then Naruto replied, "I know Rasengan, Lightning Thunder God Jutsu, 2 types of summoning jutsu, Rinnegan based jutsus, and special type of sealing jutsu that I picked up from reading about the seal that my father said to seal Kyuubi up inside me, so." Jiraiya said, "Alright Naruto, now that I know what you already know I am going to teach you how to walk on water, since it is one of key elements when it comes to using summoning jutsu." While the three went up to a pond, Naruto said, "Pervy Sage, there is pond area not far from here, and nobody uses that pond because people don't seem to have an interest in the life of that pond, meaning we will able to use water walking exercise without being interrupted. Heck, the water walking exercise will help us to improve on our water style jutsu, including one that can be works with fire style jutsu." After Naruto spoke, Jiraiya explained, "Water style jutsu that perfectly work with fire style jutsu, that is really rare, and specially that the 2 elements alone are opposite of each other," which Isaribi said, "That is true, except Naruto combined water style jutsu with Sasuke Uchiha's fire style jutsu to create a whole new water style jutsu, burning water pistol." Then Jiraiya said, "Okay, you 2 channel chakra to sole of your feet and walk across that pond over there." So the couple did what Jiraiya told them as they got across the pond. Jiraiya said, "Very good, and to be honest, tree walking exercise works same way as water walking exercise." While couple walked up a tree to make marking where they reached, the couple sprang right over to Jiraiya, leaving Jiraiya with a proud look, even when he does not know that Naruto is going out with Isaribi. But as Jiraiya looked at couple with pride, Jiraiya said, "You 2 and your friend Sasuke should reach higher level than Chunin, and especially that myself along with my teammate Tsunade have retired from being legendary Sannin. Naruto Namikaze, the legendary Fox Sannin, Isaribi, the legendary Toad Sannin, and Sasuke Uchiha, the legendary Bear Sannin that has a nice ring to it, especially that with that the council has no control of what we do," Naruto thought as he looked composed. "S3 take over as new Sannin, I say Chunin exams, bring it on," he replied. "Me a legendary Sannin, that sounds like a challenge, and I accept the challenge no matter how tough the challenge is going to be," Isaribi said. "Who are you and what the ramen are you doing in my home?" Naruto asked. "My name is Torun and my boss Danzo wants you to join Anbu route, especially that our goal is to serve Danzo when he finally becomes this village's Hokage." After Torun finished speaking, Naruto retorted, "I don't want to join Anbu route because the only reason you want me to join is because I have the Rinnegan. Heck, your boss is one of the traitorous bastards that has denied me of being appointed by one of my parents' allies, but now that I have my parents back, your boss is not going to be Hokage. Your father or his successor shall be Hokage if Lord Hokage Horizon decides to retire again." Isaribi responded, "Alright Isaribi, you keep an eye on your parents while I shall gather a team to put an end to Danzo's vile scheme to become the next Hokage, especially if he has something that makes Sasuke Uchiha truly displeased." As Naruto and Isaribi's plan was discussed, Sasuke left Uchiha Mansion to visit Naruto and his girlfriend for a shared purpose that couldn't be kept locked up. When he arrived at Namikaze Mansion, Naruto opened the door and said, "A member of Anbu route named Fu tried to get me to join Anbu route, but I refused, and whatever you have in mind I like to hear it out." Naruto then said, "Sasuke, instead of going for the rank of Chunin, let's go for the rank of Sannin, because that way we 3 along with an ally we 4 shall do what no Sannin ever done." Sasuke responded, "As being legendary Sannin, that sounds like a challenge, and I say to that challenge, bring it on." As Naruto explained what they would do once they became new legendary Sannin, the 3 Team 7 Genin nodded to each other, indicating that their plan to become the new legendary Sannin would start on the day of the semi-finals of the Chunin exams, even though they knew that upsetting Danzo's plan was only a bonus. After they had an agreement with each other, Naruto said, "Excellent, now that we have an agreement Sasuke, you need a summoning of your very own, and I think I know the perfect summoning animal for you, except you must find it hidden within the forest of Uchiha. The Training garden of legendary Izuna Uchiha, which Sasuke said, sacred forest of Uchiha, I know where that is. And according to legend, only those born with Uchiha light is able to access it. Then Naruto said, that is impressive because something tells me that it is kinda linked to Namikaze Forest for some strange reason. Then Isaribi said, according to my knowledge, Izuna Uchiha teamed up with another legendary ninja, legendary Archago Namikaze. As Naruto looked at Sasuke, at same time Sasuke looked at Naruto, they both, does this mean that path we have been following is will of legendary Izuna Uchiha and legendary Archago Namikaze, or it is just some kind of luck that we happen to get along with each other instead of being hated rivals? So Isaribi said, before you say anything, you were born with same will that two legendary shinobi have carried, making you basically second coming of them, except we shall be three that supers three great legendary shinobi, since my ancestor is legendary sea ninja Matasha Aquasha, otherwise known as the legendary sea ninja of Mother Island Village. When Sasuke got back to the Uchiha mansion to talk about the plan that Naruto had come up with, Naruto's parents entered the living room with their lunch, which they devoured. Naruto thought, first, become a Sannin, and then, start planning to start doing damage to Madara Uchiha's plan until the day that I and Sasuke kill Madara Uchiha for all the suffering that he caused. Hours later, everyone went to sleep, knowing that tomorrow would mark the start of the semi-finals of the Chunin exams. Unlike Sakura, however, Naruto has been planning to end Danzo's evil, especially with Enburu truly disbanded. Those who didn't like Naruto will have to choose between accepting Naruto as a Hidden Leaf hero or being exiled from Hidden Leaf Village for the suffering that they caused. The following day, everyone, including Naruto's parents, gathered at the Chunin exams arena to watch the Chunin exams final matches. The exam prompter, Hayate, stated, the first match of the Chunin exams semi-final is Naruto Namikaze of Namikaze clan versus Sakura Haruno of the Haruno clan. As the two arrived at the center of the Chunin exams arena, Hayate asked, do you have anything to say before the match begins? Naruto responded, Sakura Haruno, you should give up now because there is no chance that you, a fangirl, stands a chance against me, heir of Namikaze clan, ally of Uchiha clan. However, just as Sakura was about to speak, Naruto said, don't try speak to me like I am worthless, because today is the day that I get my own back for all the times that you were not being nice to me. Hayate said, begin, after which Sakura attacked him until he threw up his tri-pronged kunai, which caused him to teleport up. Sakura then yelled, where are you, loser? You are one that does not stand a chance, and once I put an end to that, Baka stole Sasuke from me, and once I put an end to that, I will enjoy making you suffer for your worthlessness. Naruto then said, I am up here, you pink banshee, and time that I use one of my elemental ninjutsu that you don't even know about. As he made some hand gestures, he thought, let's see if my own fire-style jutsu is a success, because if it is a right success I will put an end to her plan to harm Sasuke's girlfriend, no matter how much her clan dislikes me. Heck, when I am legendary Sannin, nobody will ever be able to mistreat me. Naruto Namikaze, heir of Namikaze clan. While making a hand sign, Naruto yelled, fire-style flame shuriken, which caused Sakura to be flame shurikened. He then landed back on his feet and asked, Sasuke, is it okay if I use one of your jutsus? Sasuke responded, go ahead, Naruto. I personally welcome you to use one of my jutsus as long as I get to use one of your jutsus except your clan's jutsu. As he fired a fireball jutsu, Sakura avoided it, not realizing what Naruto was planning. I knew that you could dodge that because you are in perfect position for me to pull off one of my own original jutsus from the ninja handbook of my father Minato Namikaze, the yellow flash of Hidden Leaf Village, said Naruto after Sakura ducked his fireball. Then, as Naruto formed a Rasengan, Sakura went to punch him until he yelled, Rasengan. As Naruto struck Sakura with a Rasengan, Sakura's father, Sukuna, yelled, that demon should be banished for hitting my daughter with that jutsu, especially he does not deserve to pass the Chunin exams. Sukuna, you ignorant jerk, for calling my son a demon, you will be sentenced to death by me, Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, Minato said as he approached Sukuna. Sukuna was immediately sent back to his place after Minato struck him with a Rasengan. Naruto then prepared to resume his fight with Sakura, thinking, I have been waiting for this, the perfect chance to try out a rather interesting genjutsu that I studied from my parents' jutsu scroll. As he made a hand sign, he yelled, Genjutsu Art Submission Arc. Following his speech, Naruto cast a submission arc genjutsu on Sakura, who was crying in defeat due to something she was witnessing. However, as Naruto undid the genjutsu, Sakura said, listen, you pink banshee, Give up trying to get Sasuke to be your boyfriend when there are some guys of your choosing that want to be with you. Heck, one of them is Sai, who is going to be former Anbu route. Sakura responded, "Damn you Naruto. I surrender, you won this match of ours," while Hayate remained composed and declared, "Winner Naruto Namikaze of Namikaze clan." When Naruto returned to his squad, Sakura went over with them what Naruto said, "I have defeated Sakura Haruno with genjutsu known as submission arc, and instead of Sakura being obsessed have you as her boyfriend. Sakura has desired to become your respectable rival. Especially that effect of submission arc is effective enough to remove her obsession with desire to work on fulfilling new dream to become new head of Haruno clan, no matter how tough it appears to be." And then Sasuke responded, "Nice work Naruto, that is one fangirl down, and all that is left is me to defeat Ino Yamanka, knowing that I plan to redirect her obsession of me being her boyfriend to someone from Hidden Sand Village be her new boyfriend." Isaribi embraced Naruto after Sasuke spoke, "Naruto, that was incredible, and how the ramen did you pull of such a genjutsu?" Which Naruto responded with, "I learned submission genjutsu from one of my parents' jutsu scrolls, and that genjutsu was not an easy one, because it required a combination of my imagination with right amount of chakra to create the illusion, and especially that I needed to use the correct hand sign to activate submission arc genjutsu. Heck, if I pull the wrong hand sign the genjutsu will not work." So Kakashi responded, "That was a good genjutsu Naruto, except there are many other genjutsus that you could use on Sakura instead of using submission arc genjutsu caused Sakura to cry like a right fangirl that she no longer be." After Kakashi finished speaking, Sasuke waited for Hayate to call his match, especially since he was going to face Ino Yamanka of the Yamanka clan. He thought, once the Chunin exams are over, I'm going to the sacred forest of Uchiha to find summoning contract that has been passed on to Uchihas born with Uchiha light. Hayate then stated, "Right, next match is Sasuke Uchiha of Uchiha clan versus Ino Yamanka of the Yamanka clan. The winner of this match will advance to the next round of Chunin exams, since Naruto Namikaze of Namikaze clan is in the next round. Will Sasuke Uchiha and Ink Yamanka come down to the center of Chunin exams arena?" Exam prompter Hayate asked after the two had arrived at the center of the Chunin exams arena. "Ino, do you have any last words before I defeat you?" Sasuke asked, and Ino responded, "Sasuke, I love you and I can't surrender because I need to make Chunin to impress you." The exam prompter said, "Begin," after Ino spoke, so Sasuke attacked her. However, when Ino threw some poisonous flowers at him, Sasuke made a hand sign and yelled, "Fire-style Phoenix Flower Jutsu." Sasuke then used Phoenix Flower Jutsu to destroy the poisonous flowers, but as he was about to make another hand sign, Sasuke yelled, "Fire-style Fireball Jutsu." When Sasuke fireballed Ino Yamanka, he activated his Sharingan in preparation to mimic Ino's taijutsu move. Sasuke then attacked Ino, saying, "Give up Ino, I do not love you because the girl that I love is Ayesha, best friend of my teammate Isaribi." Ino was about to use mind constriction jutsu when Sasuke yelled, "Wolf's Bane Kick." This left everyone stunned that Sasuke had executed Ino's own taijutsu move. After Sasuke Uchiha gave Ino Yamanka a Wolf's Bane Kick, Ino thought, "I got to do something that Sakura Baka has never tried before." Ino ran at Sasuke and said, "Taijutsu Art Petal Bomb." Ino then proceeded to petal bomb Sasuke until Sasuke made a hand sign and said, "Explosive Clone Jutsu." Sasuke then formed an explosive clone, and Ino went to embrace him. When the explosive clone exploded, Sasuke said, "Ino, deception is an explosion." However, Ino was sent flying into a tree, which put him in a perfect position for Sasuke to pull off a jutsu that would win him, even though the jutsu is difficult to execute. Sasuke yelled, "Fire-style Flame Drill Jutsu," as he began to form some two-handed hand signs, thinking, "Alright, time that I finally pull off Izuna Uchiha's well-known jutsu Fire-style Flame Drill Jutsu." Then, as Sasuke formed the final two-handed hand sign to activate Fire-style Flame Drill Jutsu, Ino thought, "I can't believe that I am going to be defeated by one man that I love even when he is in love with someone else." As Sasuke flame drilled Ino, Sasuke thought, "I can't believe that I finally managed to pull off Izuna Uchiha's well-known jutsu Fire-style Flame Drill Jutsu." Following Sasuke's flame drill, Ino said, "I give up prompter, I can't defeat Sasuke Uchiha because I love him except he loves someone else." Exam prompter Hayate responded, "Winner Sasuke Uchiha of the Uchiha clan." Sasuke then returned to his team, while Ino returned to hers. Horizon then said, "Sasuke Uchiha deserves to be prompted as Chunin because he followed the rules of Chunin exams and even managed to pull off a powerful jutsu that hasn't been seen since the days of Izuna Uchiha, brother of Madara Uchiha." Fake Kazekage responded, I agree with you, Lord Hokage. His skills are indeed effective, except that his friend is worthy to face my son Gaara Sabuko, hero of Hidden Sand Village. After speaking, fake Kazekage believed, excellent Sasuke. Uchiha is growing stronger than I imaged, and if he keeps getting strong, that body shall be mine, and specially with power of Sharingan I will be unstoppable, which Horizon believed. Orochimaru, I know that you're pretending to be Kazekage, and once you show your true face I will have a surprise, meaning if you think I am unarmed you have no idea how wrong you are. Then with the exam prompter, Hayate thought, I know that next match is going to be Kuretsuchi of Hidden Rock Village and Tamari Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village, and specially that way Kuretsuchi is acting, she'll fight for chance to get revenge on Minato Namikaze's only son Naruto Namikaze, the hero of Hidden Leaf Village. So Hayate clarified. Right, the next match is going to be Kuretsuchi of Hidden Rock Village versus Tamari Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village, with whoever wins that match to be in next round of Chunin exams. As Sasuke got back to his team, Sasuke Uchiha said, I have won my match against Ino Yamanka, and it means that she will finally be able to leave me alone. Heck, she might end up chasing after someone else, because with me being safe from Ino's obsession I can work on my goal to become next leader of Uchiha clan, with my parents being elders of the Uchiha clan. Then Naruto said, that is good, because all it leaves is for you, Isaribi my love, to win your match with whoever that is going to be your opponent in the Chunin exams. So Kakashi said, next match is going to be Kuretsuchi of Hidden Rock Village versus Tamari Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village, and specially that Kuretsuchi is going to want revenge for what Minato-sensei done back in the days of Third Great Ninja War took place in Kanabi Bridge. While Naruto looked right at Kuretsuchi, Naruto thought, the hatred that you have on my father is going to end, because I shall be the one that shall put stop to hatred that your village has on my father Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash Konoha. After Naruto thought Kuretsuchi's sensei Roshi looked right at Naruto, as Roshi thought, there is something about Yellow Flash's son that related to myself in you Four Tails. Which Four Tails replied, I sense the same thing as you, Roshi, and that boy is not sort of person that your damn brother Uniki thinks. Heck, when you or Han finally become Tsuchikage, we can ask for an alliance with that boy's village, and specially that you nine have one common enemy, the immortal Uchiha named Madara Uchiha. Then Roshi thought, that may be true, Four Tails, except how am I going to convince my brother to arrange meet Yellow Flash's son without having urge to get revenge? So Four Tails replied, that is easy, Roshi, you tell your brother that instead of wanting revenge for what Yellow Flash did in Third Great Ninja War, your brother can offer Yellow Flash's son with something worth to share, with something that Yellow Flash's son is willing to share with your brother. Heck, if this is successful, whatever that Yellow Flash's son wishes to share in return is going to be something worth to remember for future of Hidden Rock Village. As Roshi looked at Kuretsuchi, Roshi said, listen Kuretsuchi, don't kill Yellow Flash's son, because he might be willing to exchange info with my brother, your grandfather Uniki. Now is the match Isaribi of Hidden Leaf Village versus Akatsuchi of Hidden Stone Village, the Ino Yamanka exam prompter said after Sasuke's match. The two then proceeded to the center of the Chunin exam arena, where the exam prompter asked, do you have anything to say to each other before we begin the match? Isaribi said, I wish you luck, Akatsuchi, because I am going to be the one to end hatred that your village has on my boyfriend's family, the Namikaze clan. Akatsuchi responded, I am sorry to correct you, but I do not bear hatred on Namikaze, because there is no point to continue hatred when you can simply accept Namikaze in terms of rivalry. As they prepared to attack each other, exam prompter Hayate said, begin. You're good, Akatsuchi, and people believe in you, except I can't give up, especially that my boyfriend Naruto Namikaze believes in me, Isaribi said after Hayate, the exam prompter, spoke. Akatsuchi then attacked Isaribi until Isaribi made a hand sign and yelled, water-style water cannon jutsu. Then, Isaribi water cannons Akatsuchi, and Akatsuchi size with two hands and yelled, earth-style stone missile jutsu. Following Isaribi's speech, both Isaribi and Akatsuchi began to make two hand signals. Isaribi thought, Naruto believes in me and I cannot give up, because as long as I have the will of fire I will never give up, no matter how tough my opponent is. Isaribi then made the final hand sign and boldly yelled, water-style water cannonball jutsu. Akatsuchi then gave a respectful smile and was knocked down by Isaribi water cannonball jutsu, knowing that Akatsuchi had conceded defeat. However, Isaribi fainted a minute later. They returned to their team after Isaribi fainted, and Naruto went to pick him up while Kuretsuchi went to pick up Akatsuchi. Exam Pro Hayate said, "There is no winner of this match and it is a draw." Horizon then remarked, "This is odd, there never been a draw before," to which the fake Kazekage replied, "That is rather interesting, Lord Hokage, to witness the very first double knockout, and one of these people shall get chance to fight my son Gaara Sabuko, the Hidden Sand Village hero. But someone must first defeat my daughter Tamari Sabuko." Orochimaru thought, "If I can somehow get rid of Naruto, it will be easier to curse Mark Sasuke Uchiha." Roshi looked at Naruto and thought, "Sangaku, there is something special about the young Namikaze kid, and whatever it is, I am sure that my brother will want to know." Sangaku nodded respectfully, knowing that he knew what was special about Naruto Namikaze, the heir of the Namikaze clan. Roshi then went over to Naruto in the hopes of getting him to meet the four-tailed beast Sangaku. Especially Sangaku needs to tell Naruto something important. When Roshi reached Naruto, he said, "Naruto, my tailed beast Sangaku wishes to meet you because Sangaku has something important to tell you, and Sangaku see you as a worthy ally of tailed beasts." Which Naruto inquired, "Why does Four Tails see me as worthy ally of the tailed beasts?" And Roshi responded, "They trust you with scroll that contains good half of their chakra, and only you can seal them in us if we ever get our tailed beast extracted, but normally if we lose our tailed beast we Jinchuriki would have died an unacceptable death." When Roshi touched Naruto's forehead, both of them closed their eyes, allowing Naruto to enter Roshi's mindscape. Once inside, Naruto saw a large red monkey with 4 tails. Sangaku said, "Ah, human, finally respectable to meet such one born from an Uzumaki." Naruto then asked, "What do you know of the Uzumaki clan 4 tails?" Sangaku lowered its head and explained, "I don't know much of Uzumaki clan except Uzumaki clan had 2 special abilities. First, they have the ability to bind us a tailed beast with their chakra chain bind, and second, they have the ability to sense negativity." However, as Naruto looked perplexed, Sangaku clarified, in a more straightforward way to explain it is that if a tailed beast like myself blazed a lot of hatred, you would easily able to detect it from your village to Hidden Stone Village. After Sangaku finished speaking, Naruto emerged from Roshi's mindscape at the same moment that Roshi returned from his own mindscape and rejoined his own team. Isaribi then recovered, saying, "I apologize for losing that match. Akatsuchi was a tough opponent." Naruto responded, "That's okay, Isaribi, you did your best, and I know my parents are proud of you for trying your best to defeat Akatsuchi." However, as Naruto gave Isaribi a hug, Sasuke remarked, "You did try your best and your skills were truly impressive. Heck, you were better than I am when I am not trying my best, except 3 of us are equally as strong even if none of us make rank of Sannin." After Sasuke spoke, Horizon commented, "Isaribi did well against Akatsuchi, and Akatsuchi also did well because they was both facing each other with respect even when Naruto, her boyfriend, is heir of Namikaze clan." Then fake Kazekage responded, "I agree with you, Lord Hokage, they both did do respectfully well, except I believe that Sasuke is one that will be most challenging for my son as heir of Namikaze clan, is an interesting opponent for my daughter Tamari. Therefore Orochimaru believed, foolish sensei, once the Chunin exams are over, my Hidden Sound Village shinobi shall crush the Hidden Leaf Village, leaving me with joy to finally eliminate you, but more importantly finally steal Sasuke Uchiha from you." Exam prompter Hayate said, "Right, next match is Neji Hyuga of the Hyuga clan versus Kuretsuchi of Hidden Rock Village." After Orochimaru had finished thinking, the two then proceeded to the middle of the Chunin exams, and Hayate asked, "Right, is there anything you wish to say before you can begin your match?" Neji responded, "Fate has decided that I am to be your opponent and destiny has claimed me as winner of this match." Kuretsuchi responded, "You think that fate or destiny is something to be obeyed? Well, you must be stupid, because we are one that can shape our own destiny, and fate is what bonds people as a couple, while Roshi sensei and Han sensei have destiny that you don't even understand." After Kuretsuchi spoke, Neji took of his headband to reveal caged bird seal, which Neji explained, "You're the one that don't understand. We, the branch side of Hyuga clan, are marked with caged bird seal and forced to obey the main house side of the Hyuga clan. In fact, my father saved my uncle's ass from being killed by someone from Hidden Cloud Village by sacrificing himself in my uncle's place." Then Naruto yelled, "You think you're the only one that had to bear such a seal? Well, you're wrong. I had to bear something far worse than that, except unlike you I learned to accept by burden, and specially that I made friends with the fox that got sealed into me by my father Minato Namikaze, the yellow flash of Hidden Leaf Village, plus with my eyes the Rinnegan I have power to easily remove such a seal or any unacceptable seal designed by your clan." So Naruto jumped down to the center of Chunin exams, but as Naruto got to middle of Chunin exams, Naruto placed a finger on Neji's seal, not knowing if caged bird seal can be removed without causing side effect of seal's removal. I am going to remove the caged bird seal because this seal is unacceptable, and once the Chunin exams are over, I am going to give every Hyuga more acceptable seal and exam prompter. Hayate, I apologize if I interrupted, but I had to do something noble in particular, that as I am a sealing master it is my duty to help all caged bird sealed Hyugas by removing the caged bird seal that the elders of Hyuga clan unacceptably burden some Hyugas, by removing the caged bird seal that the elders of Hyugas unacceptably burden some Hyugas when there is a better seal that I know how to. Naruto then formed a hand sign with his other hand, removing the caged bird seal from Neji's forehead, knowing that Neji is safe from the torture of Hyuga clan elders without a caged bird seal. As he did so, he returned to his team in a yellow flash, while exam prompter Hayate said, "Begin." Following the exam prompter, Hayate, Neji activated his Byakugan while he was in his stance. Kuretsuchi then made a couple two-handed hand signs and shouted, "Earth-style boulder bullet jutsu." Neji then bouldered Neji until he shouted, 8 trigrams rotation. Hiyashi was shocked, thinking, how did my nephew pull off rotation when I did not even teach him? However, as Neji returned to his stance, he said, "You are within range of my 8 trigrams, and there is no way you can escape from this move because everyone shares one destiny and that we all share is death except one person, I think." Kuretsuchi was about to make some hand signals for lava-style jutsu when Neji yelled, 8 trigrams 64 palms. Neji then struck the final Tenksu point, and Neji said, "I have closed all 64 of your Tenksu points, meaning I have stopped you from using chakra." Kuretsuchi grinned and said, "You did stop me from using chakra temporarily, except when I am stopped from using ninjutsu or genjutsu I always have taijutsu, and no matter how long I am unable to use chakra I will not give up because Namikaze is my opponent to defeat." Kuretsuchi then assumed a battle stance, and Neji struck Kuretsuchi with a gentle fist, not knowing what taijutsu skills Kuretsuchi possessed. When Kuretsuchi yelled, "Taijutsu art Tai strike," and Neji was about to defeat him with a gentle fist, Kuretsuchi Tai struck Neji. Then, as exam prompter Hayate said, "Winner Kuretsuchi of Hidden Rock Village," Neji felt alarmed. The two of them returned to their team, and Naruto looked up at Horizon, thinking, when Orochimaru uses a barrier to prevent you from getting help, you know what to do because there is no way I am going to let you die. After Naruto had a moment to think about the exam prompter, the next match is going to be Shikamaru Nara of Nara Clan versus Tamari Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village, which Horizon said in the cage box, "Lord K's cage, I can see that Neji Hyuga and Kuretsuchi deserves to be prompted to Chunin because they both fought each other with such effective skills that not been seen since my successor Minato Namikaze, the Yellow Flash of Hidden Leaf Village." And then fake K's cage responded, "I agree with you, Lord Hokage. I know that they both deserve to be prompted to rank of Chunin, except we still need to see next match, see who else gets into the next round of the Chunin exams. Can Kabuto Yakushi of Hidden Sound Village and Tamari Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village come down to the middle of the Chunin exams?" The exam prompter asked a few minutes later. When they reached the middle of the Chunin exams, Hayate asked, "Is there anything you wish to say before you begin the match?" Kabuto responded, "I am not really that good with close combat and my long-distance attacks are just as terrible." Tamari responded, "You are truly unlucky you have me as your opponent because I happen to be a long-range specialist and I am also truly skilled in wind-style jutsu, especially that one that I want to face is Sasuke Uchiha." Hayate, the exam prompter, said, "Begin," after Tamari spoke. Kabuto then used his chakra dissection blade to attack Tamari until Tamari swung her fan and yelled, "Wind-style wind wall jutsu." Tamari then thought, Kabuto was told to act this terrible because whatever his true skills are, I know that his true skills would give away the plan against Hidden Leaf Village. However, just as Tamari was about to strike Kabuto with her fan, Kabuto deftly avoided it, giving the impression that Tamari was not even aiming at Kabuto. At the cage box, Horizon commented, "It looks like that Kabuto is trying his best to make Tamari get worn out. Because once Tamari is worn out, Kabuto would have an advantage over Tamari." Which fake K's cage responded, "I agree, Kabuto is using a rather effective plan to defeat someone that is much stronger than him, except power means nothing if the holder of that power does not plan things correctly, and especially that miscalculated attack could cause self-damage to user of such an attack like Earth-style jutsu for an example. Thus thinking, excellent Kabuto, make these fools think that you are using your true skills when they really have no idea how skillful you really are, and especially that this village shall be nothing but ruins. I admit that you are good because if this keeps up I will definitely be defeated by you, the daughter of the fourth K's cage," Kabuto said as he began to feel worn out. Tamari responded, "You are right that I am skilled, except I have no idea why you would admit defeat like that without even injuring me with some effective jutsus that you might be able to use." Kabuto then raised his hand and yelled, "I surrender. Tamari is too much of a good opponent and I am worn out enough that a simple wind-style jutsu could easily knock me out." However, to everyone's surprise, exam prompter Hayate declared, "Winner is Tamari Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village." At the cage box, Kabuto rejoined his team as Tamari went back up to hers. Horizon remarked, "That was unusual." Kabuto surrendered to Tamari when he could have easily defeated Tamari without injuring her with such effective jutsu only known to Yakushi family. Fake Casecage responded, "I have known about Yakushi family for some time, and unlike the others, Kabuto fights to defeat his opponents without needing to injure an opponent with such a deadly jutsu." Orochimaru thought, "Perfect. All that is left is the next round of the Chunin exams, and once Chunin exams are over, Hidden Leaf Village shall be destroyed like worthless village it is." After Orochimaru had thought about the exam, prompter said, "The people that got through to the next round is Gaara Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village, Naruto Namikaze of Namikaze Clan, Tamari Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village, Sasuke Uchiha of Uchiha Clan, Kuretsuchi of Hidden Stone Village, and Maisha of Hidden Leaf Village." Which Maisha approached Sasuke and said, "Sasuke, my love, I am happy that you got through, and Naruto, I am pleased that you got through to the next round of the Chunin exams, because you might have me in next round of Chunin exams." And Naruto responded, "That might be true, and if you end up as my opponent, good luck, because I intend to give it my all to get through to yet another round of Chunin exams." Sasuke said, "Naruto, there are many respectful opponents, but you are the one that I want to fight the most because you are the one that I see as the most challenging opponent yet, except if we don't end up being paired against each other. I wish you good luck, my friend." Naruto responded, "Same here, because you are the one that I want to face the most in our friendly match, especially that the chance to surpass our parents is in our grasp." Sasuke nodded to Naruto, indicating that their match would be the most respectful match in shinobi history since the match between Hashirama Senju of the Senju clan and Mikito Uzumaki of the Uzumaki clan. While at the cage box, Horizon said, "Next round of the Chunin exams is going to be really interesting, and who knows, Naruto might end facing your son in the match. Round of the Chunin exams," which fake Casecage responded, "That would be most interesting match to see hero of the leaf face hero of the sand, and especially that it would be like Battle of the Titans, where only one hero shall rise victorious as that their hero falls in defeat unless hero of the leaf forms a bond of friendship with hero of the sand." Then Orochimaru pondered, "That blasted boy has been interfering with my plans, and he must be eliminated if I am going to steal Sasuke Uchiha from Hidden Leaf Village, and with power of Sharingan nobody, not even the Akatsuki, dared to challenge me." Orochimaru, a former member of legendary Sannin. When Minato said, "Naruto, we need you to stay calm because there is something very important we need to tell you," Kushina and Minato looked at Naruto with a worried expression. "What is it that you need to tell me?" Naruto asked. Kushina then clarified, "Your father and I, along with Sasuke's parents, have got a mission, but not like any mission, since this is a dangerous mission that we might not be able to return home." Naruto's parents left on the mission to the ruins of Uzushiogakure, while Sasuke was with his parents at the Uchiha mansion next to Namikaze mansion, unsure of what they would tell him. Minato then explained, "There is a dangerous man trying to something extremely special from the ruins of my home village, the Hidden Edi village Uzushiogakure." Naruto cried, "Okay. I guess I accept it, and please come back home to me. I can't lose you, especially that I know that Sasuke don't want to lose his parents." When Sasuke looked at his parents, Fugaku said, "Sasuke, my son, I am sorry to say this, but my and your mother have to go on a dangerous mission because someone dangerous is trying to steal something extremely special from the ruins of Hidden Edi village Uzushiogakure, but if we do not return, you will be head of Uchiha clan, and especially if Itachi takes role of elder of Uchiha clan." And Sasuke broke down, "Who would want to steal something that special that caused myself along with Naruto 50-50 chance that you come back to us?" After Sasuke's words, Mikoto explained, "If you end up becoming head of Uchiha clan, you would have a choice to keep Uchiha clan in Hidden Leaf Village or reform it in Hidden Edi Village once it is restored by Naruto hero who is born with blood of Uzumaki clan and Namikaze clan." Sasuke responded, "If that happens, I will honor friendship I have with Naruto by becoming 6th Hokage, with Naruto being 5th Azukage." As he left his house to catch up with Naruto's parents, he noticed Naruto sobbing on his own doorstep. Sasuke was next to Naruto. As he approached, Naruto was saying, "Naruto, my friend, we might very well end up as last of our clan, and our parents might return to us, but there is no way that I am going to let my parents' wish be in vain, because I will never give up no matter how long it takes for me to surpass them, even if I am unable to unlock Mangekyo Sharingan." Then Naruto got up and replied, "You know Sasuke, you're right, there is no way I am going to let my parents' wish fade. I will do whatever it takes to surpass my parents, even if it means that I need to undertake the Sage Mode training." Sasuke said, "Naruto, I am the one to become the 6th Hokage, and I want you to become the 5th Izukage once it is rebuilt to its former glory." Naruto responded, "We are not going to be caged if we stand here together, and we shall honor our parents by surpassing them." Naruto then accompanied Sasuke to a private training ground that they used to hide together. As they arrived, Naruto took out 2 chakra papers, and he explained, "Sasuke, we need to see what your second affinity element is in order for us to work on jutsu of that element together as legendary duo that we are destined to be." Sasuke channeled chakra through his chakra paper until it became crinkly, at which point Naruto explained, "Your second affinity element is lightning, and that is good because mine is water, since Uzumaki clan are specialists in water-style jutsu much like your clan is with fire-style jutsu." When Naruto handed Sasuke a chakra paper, he explained, "Well, if it splits in half your second affinity is wind, if it gets crinkled your second affinity is lightning, if it gets soggy wet your second affinity is water, and if it turns to dust it is earth, but if you did not have fire, well, you would be if the chakra paper is burnt to a certain degree." "Okay. I am not sure what that lightning style jutsu you have, but I guess that you need to hold a broken piece of metal as you channel lightning elemental chakra until the broken piece of metal glows white, while as for me, I got to make this go soggy wet before we can begin our training," Naruto said after he and Sasuke walked to the jutsu library they had access to. Once there, Naruto picked up a scroll with both a scroll with water-style jutsu and one with lightning-style jutsu. They then returned to their private training area. After a few minutes, they finished their first training session, in which Sasuke made a few two-handed gestures while shouting, "Lightning-style electro-strike jutsu." Sasuke then attempted to electro-strike Naruto until Naruto made a few hand gestures while shouting, "Water-style water dome jutsu." Naruto used the water-style version of Hyuga clan's 8 trigrams rotation to block Sasuke's electro-strike, but as they exchanged glances, Naruto said, "You have successfully pulled off electro-strike jutsu, and it appears I managed to pull off water dome jutsu." Sasuke responded to Naruto's statement, "Now we are ready for the next step of the Chunin exams, and if I end up facing you, I expect that you don't take it easy on me, because I will not take it easy on you. In particular, that one thing Uchiha or Namikaze done, and that was to show that we are a force to honor throughout the ninja world." Naruto then said, "I agree, Sasuke, one of us shall be the winner of that match, and if you think that I am not going to take it easy on you, well, you're right. I will do what no Namikaze has ever done to Uchiha by defeating them with honor." The two then left for their girlfriend to unwind at home, knowing that Designy had called them to kill Madara Uchiha. The following day, everyone is at the Chunin exams arena, where exam prompter Yugo said, "All right, the rules of this round of the Chunin exams are the same as the rules for the previous round of the Chunin exams." Exam prompter Yugo then stated, "The match is Naruto Namikaze of Namikaze clan versus Kuretsuchi, granddaughter of 3rd Tsuchikage Uniki." The two then proceeded to the center of the Chunin exams, but as they arrived, exam prompter Yugo asked, "All right, is there anything that you wish to say to each other before the match can begin?" As the exam prompter reached a safe place, the Whirlpool's feudal lord arrived with a group of red-haired ninja and a group of blonde-haired ninja, knowing that they had finally found one to become the 5th Izukage. This is the day that Yellow Flash pays for what he did in the Great Ninja War by having you his son fall in defeat by yours truly me Kuretsuchi, student of Hidden Rock Village's 2 heroes, Kuretsuchi said, looking at Naruto. "I am going to be the one that shall end the hatred that you have on my father, because as long as I have my parents' will of fire I will never give up no matter what." Kuretsuchi then went to attack Naruto, making a two-handed hand sign while shouting, "Earth-style muddy entrapment jutsu." However, as she tried to trap him with her muddy entrapment jutsu, Naruto made a two-handed hand sign while shouting, "Water-style water dome jutsu." After using his jutsu, Naruto shielded himself with a dome of water and said, "I had a feeling that this jutsu would come in hand, and now Kuretsuchi, let me introduce you to another water-style jutsu in honor of my mother Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze, legendary Red Death." Then, as he yelled, "Water-style Uzumaki Whirlpool," Naruto Uzumaki whirlpooled Kuretsuchi, who grinned and said, "That is nice jutsu, except you are now in perfect position for me to finally get revenge on Yellow Flash by defeating you his son." As Kuretsuchi began to form some two-handed hand signs, Naruto thought, "This is not good. I have bad feeling that whatever jutsu she is going to use is one jutsu that is powerful enough to knock me out if I do not dodge it in time." As he removed the tri-pronged kunai, Naruto threw it over Kuretsuchi and teleported behind him, saying, "In the words of my father Minato Namikaze the 4th Hokage, As long as that will of fire still lives, I will never give up no matter how strong the opponent appears to be. Naruto then began to form a Rasengan that was different from his usual Rasengan because it was made by his parents' courage and will of fire. He proudly yelled, "Uzumaki Namikaze Rasengan," striking Kuretsuchi with it as everyone stared in shock. Whirlpool's feudal lord remarked, "My son-in-law's will of fire and my daughter's will of fire shining with great honor in my grandson like that. I am truly proud they raised such an incredible ninja with will of fire that shines truly bright." After Naruto struck Kuretsuchi with Uzumaki Namikaze Rasengan, Kuretsuchi was genuinely alarmed. He said, "Naruto Namikaze has defeated me and therefore I surrender because all I fight was fight with great vengeance when Naruto Namikaze was fighting for a noble purpose to honor with parents will of fire with great pride that puts my own pride to shame." The exam prompter Yugo responded, "Winner Naruto Namikaze of the Namikaze clan." They then returned to their team, but not before the feudal lord and his two groups of shinobi approached Naruto. As they approached Naruto, the lord said, "Greeting Naruto Namikaze. I am truly honored to meet a fine ninja like you who fights with great courage that surpasses my daughter and my son-in-law." After Whirlpool's feudal lord spoke, Naruto replied, "Thank you for the respectful comment, but who are you anyways?" Which Whirlpool's feudal lord replied, "My name is Taishiko Uzumaki, father of legendary Red Death Kushina Uzumaki. Namikaze and the red-haired shinobi here are my clan. Uzumaki clan, while next to them is your father's clan, Namikaze clan." Then Naruto said, "Uzumaki and Namikaze. Are you telling me that my father's clan along with my mother's clan survived such a horrifying event that in result I ended being orphaned?" So Taishiko replied, "We did survive, and if it is any way to make you feel better, we are sorry that we did not take you away from such a life of loneliness, and especially that you deserve to be treated with respect as you are the one that defeated Nine-Tail Fox Demon just by becoming its jailer." As Naruto cried, Uzumaki plus Namikaze's hugged Naruto as Taishiko said, "Don't worry grandson, I promise you that you never again have to suffer great loneliness because we have hidden Edi village Uzushiogakure never go back on our word, that is our nindo, that is our ninja way." When Naruto was happy, he said, "Thank you for cheering me up. I promise you in honor of my parents that I will protect our village no matter how dangerous the threat appears to, because I am Namikaze that is going to become fifth Azukage anyways. This is my girlfriend Isaribi." Which Taishiko responded, "Hello Isaribi, I am pleased to meet such a fine kunoichi like you." And then Isaribi responded, "Thank you feudal lord for your kindness, and I shall honor Naruto's parents with great pride no matter what the outcome appears to be." So Uzumaki responded, "Thank you for honoring my cousin. I am Shando Uzumaki, temporary Azukage of Great Hidden Edi Village Uzushiogakure. As your boyfriend shall take rightful place as fifth Azukage with you being by his side throughout whatever challenge that he meets in his life of a cage." After Shando Uzumaki spoke, Namikaze said, "I am Nikasho Namikaze, father of Minato Namikaze and temporary advisor of temporary Azukage Shando Uzumaki." Which Taishiko said, "With happiness, this is Shando Uzumaki, Maitoka Uzumaki, Nishaka Uzumaki, Makito Uzumaki and Sukenza Uzumaki." Which Sukenza Uzumaki said, "We of Uzumaki clan are happy that you have survived such a life of loneliness, but no more, because by honor of Kushina Uzumaki you shall never again suffer such a life of loneliness." Then Nikasho said, "This is Bukisho Namikaze, Sakashi Namikaze, Katiko Namikaze, Saikenta Namikaze and Kaitenzo Namikaze." So Kaitenzo said, "By honor of Minato Namikaze, your loneliness ends here because you will never again have to suffer life of loneliness because you are the fifth Azukage of Hidden Edi Village Uzushiogakure with your grandfather, the land of Whirlpool's feudal lord." But as they returned to their seats, Naruto smiled with great happiness knowing that he no longer suffering from the loneliness. After Naruto had recovered, a message bird appeared and they both read it. Naruto thought, "That bastard is going to pay for killing my parents, and if I get my hands on the murderer, what I am going to do to him will make even Nine Tails be afraid to challenge me." Sasuke thought, "My parents trusted me to lead the Uchiha clan, and when I get my hands on the bastard that killed my parents, I will make him suffer with great pain that even Madara Uchiha would be afraid to challenge me." However, as Naruto turned to face Sasuke, he said, "Sasuke, that bastard took away our parents again, and this time when we get our hands on him, Madara Uchiha shall suffer our wrath in the most frightening form. A so frightening form that even the tailed beasts would shake in fear." Sasuke Uchiha of the Uchiha clan and Gaara Sabuko, the hero of Hidden Sand Village, came down to the center of Chunin exams after Naruto finished his brief declaration. Exam prompter Yugo then asked if they had anything they wanted to say to each other before the match started, to which Sasuke replied, I never thought that you hero of the sand be my opponent, and only way I get to face Naruto is to defeat you. You better entertain me, because the one opponent that I want to fight is hero of Hidden Leaf Village Naruto Namikaze of Namikaze clan. Gaara responded after Sasuke spoke. Exam prompter Yugo said, begin. Sasuke then made a two-handed hand sign and yelled, fire style fireball jutsu. Gaara then yelled, sand shuriken, but Shukaku said, blasted Uchiha trying to stop us from getting closer to fight that yellow-haired human, but no worries, this mortal will have to do is warm up, and specially that blasted fox shall suffer my wrath. Do not worry Shukaku. I am not giving up yet, because once Sasuke is defeated we will be step closer to fighting fellow Jinchuriki Naruto Namikaze, the hero of Hidden Leaf Village, Gaara thought after Shukaku's words. Then, Gaara made a two-handed hand sign and yelled, sand trap. Gaara caught Sasuke in a sand trap. But Sasuke grinned and said, I hate to ruin whatever imagination you have, but I am not going to give up yet, especially that Naruto is the one opponent that I want to face in the finals for chance to see who is the victorious one. Gaara said, Sasuke, I do not wish to put a halt to your ninja career, but give up because I am one move close to defeating you. Sasuke smiled and responded, prompter Gaara has defeated me because I surrender, in particular that I feel like I am low on chakra. After speaking, Sasuke exited the sand trap and made a few two-handed hand gestures while yelling, lightning style electro strike. Sasuke then ran to strike Gaara with an electro strike until Gaara caught him with a sand coffin. Yugo, the exam prompter, said, winner Gaara Sabuko, after which Gaara released Sasuke from his jutsu. Meanwhile, at the cage box, the two cages wait for the next match while Horizon says, Sasuke fought well and I can tell that he deserves to be promoted to rank of Chunin. Especially that Naruto deserves to be prompted to the rank of Chunin. The fake cage responded, I agree with you, Lord Hokage, they did really well and their opponent did well since my son won his match against Sasuke Uchiha, one of the survivors of the Uchiha clan. Excellent, Sasuke is proving to be even more worthy to be my next body, because once I put the curse mark on him I will be step closer to obtain the Sharingan, and Hidden Leaf Village shall be destroyed with that blasted Namikaze brat being eliminated by that foolish cage son Gaara, the Jinchuriki of one-tailed beast Shukaku, Orochimaru thought after the fake cage spoke. Meanwhile, Uzumaki and Namikaze grinned proudly, knowing that Naruto would be returning with his family. As Uzumaki and the Namikaze looked proud, Taishiko Uzumaki thought, my grandson and Nikasho's grandson will never again have to live a lonely life, because he will get what he deserves to be the leader of Hidden Edi Village Uzushiogakure regardless of what the Hidden Council says, because if they try something dishonorable the council that tries to do Naruto harm shall suffer a wrath. Then, back at the center of Chunin exams, Yugo stated, the next match is going to be Tamari Sabuko versus Maisha of Hidden Leaf Village. Horizon then remarked, that is going to be an interesting match, and whoever wins well, the last match would be three-way of three opponents facing each other. Fake cage responded, I agree with you, except the match that I want to see if Hero of the Leaf face against my son. After fake cage finished speaking, Orochimaru thought, great, it's almost time for the Chunin exams to end. Once the exams are over, the invasion can start, and I'll kill my stupid sensei Horizon Saratobi, even if that meddling Namikaze brat ruins my plan yet again. Naruto then hurried to the third Hokage, but as soon as he arrived, he whispered, Lord Hokage, I have a bad feeling that something is going to happen and you're going to need help, meaning take this try. Prong Kanai, just in case Orochimaru shows his rotten face. Finally, before returning to his team, Naruto gave Horizon a try. Pronged Kanai. When Naruto returned to his teammates he said, Sasuke, I have passed Lord Hokage Horizon a try-pronged Kanai. And if Orochimaru shows his vile face, Orochimaru is going to be in for a surprise, meaning that I shall be his executioner, and whoever is picked as my father's successor will finally be able to become the 5th Hokage, meaning you Sasuke are successor of 5th Hokage. And Sasuke responded, good plan Naruto, now I know that you would make an excellent cage, and specially that I would be honored to reform an alliance Hidden Leaf Village had with Hidden Edi Village, and remember our plan death of Madara Uchiha, former leader of my clan. After Sasuke had spoken, Isaribi said, Naruto, once your coronation begins I shall be by your side, because there is no way that I am going to let you face the people alone, and specially that whatever speech you have in mind we shall protect Hidden Edi Village together, since with Maisha being by Sasuke's side the alliance with Hidden Leaf Village will be something that will be honored for generations. Afterwards Maisha responded, when it comes to your coronation Sasuke, I will be by your side, because together we shall reform an alliance with Hidden Edi Village, and we four shall surpass our parents no matter how challenging it is going to be. Will Maisha of Hidden Leaf Village and Tamari Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village come down? The exam prompter asked, and the two of them descended to the center of the Chunin exams arena. Yugo then said, anything you want to say before the match can begin. Maisha responded, I never thought I'd get to face you, sister of Hidden Sand Village's hero Gaara, but yet there is high possible chance that he will face Naruto Namikaze, a fellow Jinchuriki. However, as Tamari threw her fan directly at Baki, Tamari reader, I am not going to need my signature weapon for this because this is one fight that I need to show that my brothers are not only one who can pull off such incredible skills only known to certain people. When Yugo said, begin, after Tamari's speech, he made a hand gesture and said, wind-style air slasher. Then, Tamari made a two-handed hand gesture and Maisha countered with a typhoon boom. As the two of them exchanged a smile, Maisha thought, damn, she is good, and if she keeps up using such impressive skills I don't think that either of us will be able to last. Meanwhile, Horizon said, these two are doing well in this match and I wonder who will end up as winner of the match. Fake Casecage then said, we shall see who is winner of this match due time, Lord Hokage, because my daughter is one who will not give up until they are both been worn out. While chatting with Taishiko, he noticed the other Namikazes. When Taishiko said, my fellow ninja if Hidden Leaf Village is under attack, we shall honor Minato Namikaze, my son-in-law, and my daughter Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze. Because as long as their son has faith in us we will never give up no matter how dangerous the battle appears to be. Then Uzumaki's responded, you're right, we will never give up because this village does not deserve such a fate that only those who was horrible to hero of this village. So Namikaze's responded, we agree with Uzumaki's, those who dares to attack this village shall suffer our combined wrath no matter how tough the battle appears to be. Maisha said, you're good, Tamari, I never knew people like you could fight with such courage except as long as my boyfriend Sasuke has faith in me. I will never give up until we are both too worn out to continue the match. Tamari responded, I agree with you, Maisha, because I am no way going to let my two brothers surpass me because only the hero of this village can stand a chance against my little brother Gaara Sabuko, the hero of Hidden Sand Village. Without realizing that they would both be unable to continue the match because they were worn out, they began to form some two-handed hand gestures. When they both made the final two-handed hand sign, Maisha yelled, wind-style air claw, and Tamari responded with, wind-style wind blast. As they were about to speak, Yugo, the exam prompter, said, the match is a draw, meaning nobody has won this match, leaving final match Naruto Namikaze of Namikaze clan versus Gaara Sabuko of Hidden Sand Village. As Uzumaki cheered with Namikaze's, Naruto hugged Isaribi, knowing that the match between the two Jinchuriki would be unlike any other. After Yugo, the exam prompter, finished speaking, everyone went home except for Uzumaki and Namikaze, who accompanied Naruto to the Namikaze mansion to honor Naruto's parents. Taishiko said, grandson, you have made us all proud, and if my daughter were still alive, she would be really proud to see you in the final match of the Chunin exams. Except your opponent is not going to be an easy opponent because you are going to be up against Shukaku as well as his Jinchuriki Gaara. Nikasha then said, tomorrow we shall teach you a jutsu that we taught our children, and it is not going to be easy as our children have never been able to pull a rank clan-based jutsu. Naruto then asked, am I going to learn Uzumaki drill strike and Namikaze flash palm grandfathers? With pride both of the grandfathers responded, that is the Xgak-2 rank clan-based jutsus we have in mind, and we would teach you sealing jutsu except you are already a genius in the art of sealing jutsu, and especially with help of the Rinnegan you can do what neither of us ever done before by ending the will of hatred that a cursive Madara Uchiha stands for. Heck, Uzumakis are summoners of Shinigami while Namikazes are summoners of legendary foxes, the legendary orange foxes of Mount Foxyaku, the land of foxes. And then cheered. Awesome, that means I have opportunity to master Sage Mode training with legendary orange foxes. Once Naruto had finished speaking everyone slept. Next to Isaribi, he wondered, do you know anything about the training I would have to do for me to become the Fox Sage? Which Kyuubi responded, the Fox Sage training. That Naruto is equally challenging as fighting me when I fight with honor, and especially that eons ago the legendary orange foxes took care of young kid, and that kid was me, except unlike the other foxes I have shown great promise. Only founder of Namikaze clan had 1000 years later when I was fully grown fox in training. Then Naruto pondered, I see that you mean that legendary orange foxes adopted you and raised you to become what you are, a noble fox with goal to eliminate the threat to all tailed beasts Madara Uchiha. Exam prompter Yugo stood calmly as he said, now we are going to have an exhibition match of Sasuke Uchiha of the Uchiha clan versus Tenzo Senju of the Senju clan, and this match is under the same rules of Chunin exams match where killing is not allowed. The exam prompter then said, Sasuke Uchiha and Tenzo Senju, come down here. They then proceeded to the center of the Chunin exams arena, where Yugo asked, is there anything you wish to say before this match can begin? Sasuke responded, today is the day that Uchiha finally get win over Senju, in particular that in like war our clan had against this other we face each other to see who shall be victorious. After Sasuke finished speaking, Tenzo responded, Sasuke, you may have the guidance of Uchiha Light, but as long as I believe in Will of Fire, I will never give up because today is the day that we see which one of us shall be the victorious Opni in this match. Yugo, the exam prompter, said, begin, and Tenzo then made a two-handed hand sign while shouting, wood style wood blast. Tenzo then wood blasted Sasuke until he formed a two-handed hand sign to counter Tenzo Senju's wood style jutsu, realizing that defeating Tenzo Senju, a member of Enbu Black Ops, would not be simple. Sasuke yelled, fire style fireball jutsu, after forming the final two-handed hand sign. He then blocked the wood blast with the fireball. I can tell you are not going to be an easy opponent because the way that you fight shows that you are from the Enbu Black Ops that works for the Hokage, except that does not mean I will surrender, especially that I am going to become the successor of the 5th Hokage, whoever the 5th Hokage is going to be. Tenzo responded, I admit Sasuke you're good, except as long as I honor Senju's Will of Fire I will never give up no matter how talented you appear to be. Tenzo then formed a two-handed hand sign while saying, wood-style root restrainment jutsu. Sasuke jumped out of the way as Tenzo was about to trap Sasuke with root restrainment jutsu because he thought, Naruto, it is time that I show you why the Uchiha Light is something that should not be corrupted by the likes of the bastard Madara Uchiha, the Uchiha clan. As Sasuke looked at Tenzo with respect, Sasuke said, I am sorry Tenzo Senju, but this is where my clan finally gets a win over the Senju clan because you were right. Where I needed to be for a jutsu that I have learned. From the scroll of Izuna Uchiha, the flame of the Uchiha Light, which Sasuke formed a hand sign while gathering chakra in a form of electricity, then Sasuke charged at Tenzo as Sasuke thought, Maisha my love I desiccate this victory to you because as long as I believe in Will of Uchiha Light I will never give up no matter how challenging my opponent appears to be. So Sasuke striked Tenzo with Chidori as Sasuke yelled with respect, Chidori strike. But as Tenzo felt worn out from being Chidori striked by Sasuke, Uchiha exam prompter said, winner of this exhibition match is Sasuke Uchiha of the Uchiha clan, and hateful rivalry the two clan have against each other has finally been put to an end as the two clans can finally be at peace as it once was during the days of legendary Uchiha Izuna Uchiha of the Uchiha clan. After exam prompter Yugo spoke, Sasuke went back to his team at the same time that Tenzo returned back to base for a good rest, which at the cage box Horizon said, Lord Kazekage Sasuke Uchiha has done really well against a member of Enbu Black Ops, and I can tell that he might make an excellent 6th Hokage someday, lucky enough that my successor has already decided to take his place as the 5th Hokage. Then fake Kazekage replied, Lord Hokage, it is indeed true that Sasuke Uchiha has done really well against a member of Enbu Black Ops. But I wonder how well he would have done if he was to face my son or even hero of Hidden Leaf Village Naruto, Namikaze of the Namikaze clan. So Horizon said, it would have been the most interesting match, except your son is going to find that Naruto Namikaze is going to be most challenging opponent he ever faced for a rather special reason that you shall all find out personally. Since Whirlpool's feudal lord along with his shinobi decided to witness the match where hero of this village, Naruto Namikaze of the Namikaze clan, face off against your son, the hero of your village Gaara Sabuko. While Orochimaru smiled villainously, Orochimaru thought, as soon as the Chunin exams are over the Hidden Leaf Village shall be destroyed, and if that infernal brat interferes with my plan yet again he shall suffer for ruining my plans to have Sasuke Uchiha being curse marked by me, Orochimaru, a former member of the legendary Sannin and a former member of that infernal organization, the Akatsuki. Horizon thought, everything is set for me to finally correct my mistake by finally ending the life of my traitorous ex-student Orochimaru, and with this Orochimaru will die by my hands and the hands of Naruto Namikaze, the hero of Hidden Leaf Village. The residents of Hidden Leaf went home, while the others returned to their hotel room, knowing that the final match between Naruto Namikaze and Gaara Sabuko would be the one that people would never forget, especially since it would be the greatest shinobi history, with the match between Minato Namikaze of the Namikaze clan and Hiyashi Hyuga of the Hyuga clan being just as amazing as the match between Kushina Uzumaki of the Uzumaki clan and Hisashi Hyuga of the Hyuga clan. After eating breakfast the following day, Naruto and his two grandfathers entered the training garden. Taishiko said, "Okay, grandson, it's time for us to teach you our clan's most prized jutsu, water-style hydro-blast jutsu." Taishiko then made some two-handed gestures and yelled, "Water-style hydro-blast jutsu," as Naruto proudly watched Taishiko hydro-blast a training dummy. However, as she turned to face Naruto, she said, "It is your turn to use water-style hydro-blast jutsu." Nikasho remarked, "Flash palm is much like Hyuga clan gentle fist except you channel slightly elemental chakra through your palm to cause an electrical damage to an opponent." After Taishiko Uzumaki finished speaking, Naruto made the same two-handed hand signs and yelled, "Water-style hydro-blast jutsu." Naruto then hydro-blasted the training dummy, saying, "Grandpa Taishiko, I did it, I managed to pull off our clan's most prized water-style jutsu and that jutsu was incredible." Naruto ran at the training dummy after Nikasho finished speaking, flash palming it, causing it to sustain electrical damage. Nikasho then said, "Well done, Naruto. You have done really well and you even managed to pull off Uzumaki clan's most prized jutsu water-style hydro-blast jutsu." Taishiko then said, "Naruto, you not only been able to pull off our clan's prized jutsu water-style hydro-blast jutsu, you even managed to pull off Namikaze clan's prized jutsu flash palm." As Naruto hugged his grandfathers, he said, "Good night, Grandpa Taishiko and Grandpa Nikasho. I see you in the morning." Knowing that Isaribi was fast asleep, Naruto went to his bedroom to get some rest. After changing from his ninja gear to his bedroom gear, Naruto went to bed and turned to face Isaribi, thinking, "Good night, Isaribi. May Madara Uchiha die in the most frightening way possible." As he fell asleep, Naruto grinned and lost himself in a dream in which Hidden Leaf Village and Hidden Eddy Village Uzushiogakure celebrated the death of Madara Uchiha, the Akatsuki leader. When Naruto teleported back to his village, he stood on the balcony and yelled, "People of Uzushiogakure, today we celebrate the death of Madara Uchiha and the birth of my son Arashi." Everyone cheered, "Long live the Azukage, long live Uzumaki Namikaze." Then, with their son Arashi in their arms, Isaribi arrived at the balcony and looked at Naruto, saying, "Naruto Lord Hokage along with his wife plus their son have come to visit us." Just as Naruto was about to smile proudly, he woke up from his dream, knowing that today would be the day that he would meet Gaara Sabuko, the village hero. Exam prompter Ko said, "All right everyone, today is the final match where the hero of this village faces off against the hero of Hidden Sand Village to see who shall become the winner of this year's Chunin exams, and the rules are the same as previous round. Killing is positively forbidden." After Nikasho fed everyone breakfast, Naruto sat down next to Isaribi in the living room. Then, as Isaribi went to her seat with her teammate and their sensei, the exam prompter asked, "Will Naruto Namikaze and Gaara Sabuko come to the center of Chunin exams arena?" Everyone waited for them to arrive after exam prompter Ko spoke. Horizon asked, "Lord Kazekage, who do you think is going to win this clash of the heroes?" To which fake Kazekage responded, "We will find out when they arrived, and knowing those two they must be getting some last-minute training from their ultimate ally." Horizon then remarked, "I have not heard of people like Naruto who have an ultimate ally. Their strong will carrying them to their fate where they face each other in the final round of the Chunin exams." Kyuubi, who is near the Chunin exam arena, said, "Naruto, it's time I teach you one of my wind-style jutsu," and knowing Shukaku, he most likely be training his Jinchuriki to have better control of his sand along with a new jutsu. Shukaku said, "Listen mortal, in order to have better control of your sand, close your eyes, and picture the people that are precious to you." Gaara closed his eyes as he visualized Hinata Hyuga, then opened them as he yelled, "Sand bullet." However, Gaara channeled a small amount of chakra and said, "Hey pup, I saw that image of the female human you imaged, and I'd say that the female human you have imagined is not one of those girls who would not want to be with you for containing me, especially that she might be a good friend of the one that you are up against in the final round of Chunin exams." Gaara thought to herself, "Listen raccoon, as much as I admit I am in love with that white-eyed girl, there is no way that I am going to give in to your idea. I will ask the white-eyed girl out once the Chunin exams are over, because my opponent is not going to be an easy opponent to defeat, and especially that he is same as me, son of fourth Kage." Then Shukaku responded, "Well pup, I am impressed that you had the guts to call me a raccoon, but at least I finally got you to admit that you fell in love with that female human, because if something bad happened to her the pain you feel would make me want to slap some courage back into that head of yours. Subsequently, you got that right, damn raccoon. I am not hero of Hidden Sand Village for nothing, you know, and I will be Kazekage someday no matter how tough it is going to be." Horizon said, "I wonder what is taking them this long," and the fake Kazekage responded, They must have something planned because whatever it is I know everyone is going to get a shock, and especially the people that bonded with those two heroes. After speaking with Shukaku, Gaara made a hand sign, knowing that Naruto had made the same hand signs back in the Chunin exams arena. Horizon then thought, Naruto, I hope you know what you are doing, because once the Chunin exams are finally over I will put a stop to Orochimaru's plan to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village. Exam prompter Ko asked, is there anything you wish to say before the final match of Chunin exams to begin? As Gaara appeared by sand teleportation just as Naruto arrived in a flash, Naruto responded, Gaara, it's time that we get this show on the road because I have a hat to claim. Gaara then said, Hinata Hyuga, I like to take you on a date when this is all over, and Naruto my friend, let's do this. Hinata blushed until Hiyashi said, Gaara Sabuko, listen, once the Chunin exams are over I need you to protect my daughter because I have a bad feeling that something bad is going to happen. I wish for permission to date your daughter once the Chunin exams are over, and I promise you that I will protect her no matter how dangerous the enemy appears to be, Gaara said, looking at Hiyashi. Gaara, I approve of you being with my daughter Hinata, and I trust you to treat her well, and thank you for caring for her during the Chunin exams, Hiyashi replied. Gaara then turned back to Naruto, grinning, realizing that he finally understood what true strength was. As he threw a flower to Hinata, exam prompter Ko quickly glanced to see if the two Jinchurikis were prepared to start their match. Gaara readied himself after speaking with Hiyashi because the exam prompter said, May match of Naruto Namikaze and Gaara Sabuko begin. Gaara then clapped his hands together and yelled, Sand Tsunami. Gaara then Sand Tsunami'd Naruto until he formed some hand signs and yelled, Water Style Aqua Dome Jutsu. Naruto used Aqua Dome to block the Sand Tsunami, but some Hyuga clan elders appeared extremely displeased, so Naruto smiled, knowing he had another move up his sleeve. After he smiled at the elders of the Hyuga clan, Naruto ran to Gaara and yelled, Namikaze-style Taijutsu Flash Palm. Naruto hit Gaara with his Flash Palm, and when Gaara said, Say Naruto, let's take up a notch, Naruto responded, Good idea, Gaara. Let's power up and show why we are known as heroes of our own village. While Gaara was powered up with a small amount of Shukaku's chakra, Naruto charged up with a small amount of Kyuubi's chakra. After the two used some of their tailed beast chakra to power up, Gaara made some hand signs and yelled, Wind-style sand bullets. Gaara then sandblasted Naruto until he made a few two-handed hand signs and yelled, Water-style waterball jutsu. Gazing at Gaara, Naruto remarked, Gaara, you are an incredible ninja and you will be an incredible Kage someday, as I will be the Azukage of my clan's homeland, Hidden Eddy Village Uzushiogakure. After Naruto finished speaking, Gaara said, You would have made an excellent Hokage, but you would make an excellent Azukage, and once we are both Kage, I would like to form an alliance with you, especially that we Jinchuriki must stick together in order to survive the assault of a deadly enemy, a group that targets us Jinchuriki for our ultimate all the tailed beasts. Naruto then said, That reminds me that it is time that we finish this match with a bang of great respect because this match is taking too long, to which Gaara replied, I agree Naruto, let us go out with a big bang of honor. As the two Jinchuriki concentrated a reasonable amount of chakra for their strongest jutsu, they both grinned, realizing that only one of them would win. Gaara yelled, Sand Strike, as he made a two-handed sign, and Gaara proceeded to sand strike Naruto. Naruto then formed a Rasengan and ran to strike Gaara with it, but Gaara was about to hit him with the sand strike when Naruto leapt and landed a Rasengan. As Naruto carefully helped Gaara up, the exam prompter said, Winner Naruto Namikaze of the Namikaze clan. After the exam prompter finished speaking, Naruto walked with Gaara to his team, knowing the two grinned proudly. Following their proud smiles, the sky began to rain feathers, causing some people to fall asleep. Naruto then countered the genjutsu and looked at his two siblings, saying, Tamari you, Kunkuro, and Baki-sensei help the shinobi of Hidden Leaf Village while I go over to Hinata. They nodded, and while they were doing so, they left to assist some Hidden Leaf shinobi. Gaara went over to assist Hinata in defeating some Hidden Sound shinobi. What is the meaning of this Lord Kage? I thought your village was allies of my village. At the cage box, 4 Hidden Sound shinobi emerged from hiding, formed a hand sign, and yelled, 4 Flame Barrier Jutsu. They then created an impenetrable barrier around the cage box, so the fake Kage took Horizon on top of the viewer's box without realizing that Horizon was holding a tri-pronged kunai that Naruto had given him. Following Horizon's speech, Orochimaru asked, Is there any way to talk to an old student, Horizon-sensei? Horizon responded, Orochimaru, I knew it would be you, and if you think that I am alone, well, guess again. Horizon then threw a tri-pronged kunai onto the ground, and as it struck, Naruto suddenly materialized. Naruto then turned to face Orochimaru, saying, Orochimaru, former member of legendary Sannin, it must be my birthday because not only I am going to become the new Azukage, but I get to eliminate a traitor of Hidden Leaf too. When Naruto reached Horizon, he said, Lord Hokage, I am going to need your help here because if Orochimaru uses that forbidden jutsu, I am going to need you buy me enough time to call in some backup with a jutsu to counter that forbidden jutsu that only I can survive. Then Horizon replied, Alright Naruto, I got your back, and if I survive, this Hidden Leaf village itself will be in department to you for all what you have done for us. Do many years that you've been a shinobi of this village. So Orochimaru chuckled as he said, You think a talentless brat like you can defeat me, a member of legendary Sannin and former student of 3rd Hokage? After Orochimaru finished speaking, Naruto responded, Orochimaru, I can defeat you because as of right now I am the 5th Azukage of Hidden Edi village Uzushiogakure. Naruto then made a few hand gestures before touching Horizon and saying, Ninja Art Noble Guard Jutsu. Horizon then made some hand gestures and asked, What was that jutsu that you used on me, Naruto? As Naruto prepared to fight, he explained, I used a jutsu called Noble Mark Jutsu, and what it does is that it protects your soul from being used by Orochimaru when he summoned you with that forbidden jutsu, and all I need to do is offer Shinigami the soul of a dishonorable person like Mizuki for an example. Orochimaru then yelled, Enough of this fuss, I make sure you both die. As Orochimaru made some hand gestures, Naruto thought, Excellent, Orochimaru has fallen for the oldest trick of the book, the prankster's lure, in other words the old-time waster trick. Orochimaru was about to raise 3 coffins from the grave when Naruto threw a sealing tag to send the 3rd coffin back to its original location. Out of the 2 coffins that were left, the first one contained the Senju brothers, Hashirama Senju and Tobirama Senju. Orochimaru then said, Meet the 1st Hokage Hashirama Senju and the 2nd Hokage Tobirama Senju, the Senju brothers. Naruto laughed and asked, Did you honestly think that using them to fight us too, Orochimaru? As Orochimaru restored them to their former glory. Orochimaru then said, Naruto, you ruined my plans long enough and you will die like the talentless brat that you are. Following his words, Hashirama said, Brother, looks like we've been summoned with a forbidden jutsu, to which Tobirama responded, Forbidden jutsu reanimation, that is the jutsu someone used to summon us from the dead. Then Horizon responded, Hashirama sensei and Tobirama sensei, my ex-student Orochimaru has summoned you too with that forbidden jutsu. So Naruto responded, Lord Hokage Hashirama, if you know what the effect of this forbidden jutsu, I will have to either destroy your body or rescue your soul from Orochimaru's control. Naruto said, I had a gut feeling you'll confess that to me because now I know that your clan is distantly related to my mother's clan, the Uzumaki clan, since I am now the 5th Azukage of Uzushiogakure. Hashirama then turned to face Naruto and said, You know lad, you remind me of my wife Mito, and she was incredible because not only did she seal Kyuubi into herself, making her the very first 9 Tails Jinchuriki, but she even had a regeneration seal placed on her forehead because the jutsu is actually a forbidden jutsu of the Uzumaki clan. Orochimaru laughed when Naruto said, Lad, hidden in Senju Manor is a scroll that contains a message from my wife Mito to my granddaughter Tsunade. Naruto then growled, Orochimaru, you have gone too far, and for that I will personally send your soul to Death Reaper Shinigami. The Senju brothers then attacked Naruto until Horizon made a hand sign and yelled, Earth-style mud wall. Horizon blocked his 2 senseis with a wall of mud, and Naruto made some hand gestures and yelled, Forbidden Uzumaki-style jutsu healing regeneration. After healing Horizon from any battle damage he had accumulated over the years, Horizon turned to face Naruto and said, Naruto, you have done a noble thing, and for that I thank you, but leave my senseis along with that traitor to me. As he closed his eyes, he pondered, What can I do? Lord Hokage Horizon is fighting against his ex-student and his 2 revived senseis, the Senju brothers. After thinking, Kyuubi responded, That is easy, kid. You use your special ability that only you are known for, and as much as I like to have a rematch in the form of a friendly challenge, I am unable to fight Hashirama thanks to his special ability, the Tailed Beast Tamer ability. Naruto then thought, That's as Kyuubi, you're brilliant. I can use the power of wood-style jutsu to bind the Senju brothers and mark them with the same seal I placed on Lord Hokage Horizon before the Senju brothers are sent back home to the spirit world of Shinigami. Naruto then formed a 2-handed hand sign while combining Earth Elemental Affinity with Water Elemental Affinity to form Wood Elemental Chakra. Especially since the jutsu he intends to use is strong enough to trap even Kyuubi into a wooden box for stealing Naruto's own personal stash of secret edition ramen. When 2 Senju brothers were about to attack, Naruto yelled, Wood-style wood bind jutsu. After successfully binding the 2 Senju brothers, Naruto declared, Lord Hokage Hashirama and Lord Hokage Tobirama, I am going to mark you with the very same seal that I placed on Lord Hokage Horizon to make sure that your soul can never again be used by Orochimaru when he use a forbidden jutsu, one that goes by the name of reanimation. Naruto then placed a noble guard mark on the Senju brothers, saying, Lord Hokage Horizon, I am going to send your two senseis home, and now is the time that you say whatever you were unable to say. Horizon then said, Hashirama Sensei and Tobirama Sensei, thank you for making me the third Hokage. As much as I would like to continue being the Hokage, I have failed to fulfill Mito Sensei's wish to protect Uzumaki from the pain of loneliness, but I am more than willing to pay the price by having my successor's own successor take over as the fifth Hokage. Naruto then made a few two-handed hand signs while shouting, Uzumaki-style Kinjutsu Death Reaper Soul. Finally, Shinigami appeared, and Naruto made the final two-handed hand signs. Shinigami, I return to you Hashirama Senju and Tobirama Senju, the Senju brothers, Naruto said as Shinigami appeared. Thank you mortal for giving me back the two Senju brothers, Shinigami replied. Now that you are unable to use Senju brothers' soul for your vile act, I think it is time to finish this little dance of ours since I have a village to run, Naruto said after Shinigami returned home with the two Senju brothers. As soon as he finished speaking, Naruto made a dog hand sign and yelled, Earth-style mud wave. He then used this to attack Orochimaru. Horizon then made a tiger hand sign and yelled, Fire-style dragon flame bomb. Orochimaru then used his snake skin sword to attack him, but Naruto laughed and asked, do you really think that you can defeat us too with that weapon, Orochimaru? Horizon noticed that Naruto was holding a tri-pronged kunai. Horizon asked, are you going to use that jutsu that I think you're going to use? To which Naruto replied, yep, I am going to use Yellow Flash Red Death combo, and in honor of the Senju brothers Will of Fire the traitor shall be punished by me, Naruto Namikaze the fifth Azukage. Naruto then teleported in a yellow flash as he formed a Rasengan, to which Orochimaru said, where are you boy, come here where I shall make you suffer for what you did, while aiming his Rasengan. After saying, Rasengan, Naruto hit Orochimaru with a Rasengan and made some hand gestures, thinking, alright, Shinigami, it's time for the payment that I promised one dishonorable soul. Horizon watched in disbelief as Naruto used an Uzumaki-style forbidden jutsu Death Reaper seal to summon Shinigami. When Shinigami appeared, Naruto stated, Shinigami, I promised you payment and here it is, dishonorable person. That goes by the name Orochimaru, former member of legendary Sannin, which caused Shinigami to inquire, what is it that you wish to offer me as payment for summoning me, mortal? And Naruto responded, I wish to seal away as much of Orochimaru's forbidden jutsu as possible by sealing away his ability to use his arms. And Shinigami responded, that is an acceptable payment, mortal. I shall take away much of that mortal's forbidden jutsu as possible. After Shinigami finished speaking, Naruto made another hand gesture and sealed off the majority of Orochimaru's forbidden jutsu by sealing his arms. Orochimaru then screamed, curse you Namikaze brat for interfering with my plan to destroy the Hidden Leaf village, and mark my words, this village along with the village of yours shall suffer. 4 hidden sound shinobi then undid the barrier as they fled with Orochimaru, and Naruto assumed the appearance of Horizon as he declared, Orochimaru has escaped, and next time I see him what I will do to him will make even Madara Uchiha be afraid to challenge Kyuubi to a fight. After Naruto finished speaking, everyone went home. However, while traveling to Hidden Eddy village with his family and Isaribi, Naruto thought, Kyuubi, once I become the 5th Azukage, I wish to learn a challenging jutsu that only you can teach me. Kyuubi responded, I never thought the day that you finally asked me to teach you one of my jutsu. Well, the answer to that is you better get into shape, meaning eat other foods instead of just ramen, because the jutsu I am going to teach you is a high B rank jutsu. Naruto then asked, what is this jutsu you are going to teach me once I am in better shape? After Naruto reflected, Kyuubi replied, I am going to be teaching you a jutsu called Fire-style Fire Palm. And unlike Hyuga clan's Air Palm, Fire Palm is a fire elemental version that only you and those born of you will be able to use, which Naruto pondered, Kyuubi. I am not ready for kids yet, and I will not be ready to become a father until I married Isaribi. And Kyuubi responded, that is understandable, and oh yeah, I forgot to mention that when you are a little older you will have to fight me for power to transform into me. In words, I will able to supply you my power, except my body will not allow you until you defeat me. And thus Naruto thought, are you saying that I need the keys to the seal in order to unlock your power before I can go to location where 2 tests of Jinchuriki purification is located? With a grin, Kyuubi clarified, the first part is located at Falls of Truth, where you shall battle the darkness within you, and other part is located within the temple of Jinchuriki, where you shall go face to face with Me your tailed beast Kyuubi, but word of warning, I will be fighting you as if I was going through my resurrection. Then Naruto pondered, do not worry Kyuubi, I will not be taking easy on you, because in order for me to gain power to actually transform into you, I not only need keys to the seal, but I also need to learn senjutsu, otherwise known as sage mode training. So Kyuubi responded, you will be learning how to use sage mode from 2 fox sages, and word of warning, those who failed that training die from being completely turned into an iron fox statue, much like how those died from being turned into a stone toad statue, except only those who are past the test get called as a sage. Following Kyuubi's explanation, Naruto grinned as they finally reached Hidden Eddy village Uzushiogakure, where he had traveled with his 2 grandfathers. A few minutes later, Taishiko shouted, people of Uzushiogakure, today is a great day because son of our Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze and 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze has returned to us. Everyone in Uzushiogakure cheered as Taishiko said, Naruto, in honor of my daughter and son-in-law, will you accept the title of 5th Azukage? Naruto looked proud and responded, I Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze honor my parents by accepting the role of 5th Azukage, and I shall protect this village from whatever danger that wishes to do this village harm. After Naruto finished speaking, Taishiko put his Azukage hat on him, to the cheers of everyone. Naruto then entered the Azukage's office and sat on his desk, observing the paperwork he needed to sign. As he grinned, he thought, it's time that I defeat the paperwork with something known as Shadow Clone Jutsu, or better yet Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. Naruto yelled, Shadow Clone Jutsu, and 5 shadow clones appeared. After an hour, all 6 Narutos had completed signing the paperwork, and Naruto sat down in his chair. However, as he was sitting on his hair, Isaribi entered the Azukage office with a note that had been received from a council member of Hidden Leaf Village. Isaribi handed Naruto the message, saying, Naruto, this came from Hidden Leaf Village Messenger Bird and it seemed like it was kinda important. Isaribi said, I am fine with that Naruto, because I trust that you can do this because you are the Azukage after all. As Naruto prepared his tools, he thought, finding Tsunade Senju is not going to be easy, because knowing her she would go anywhere where she can gamble enough money to buy some sake. After Isaribi finished speaking, Naruto opened the scroll and read the message, which read, Dear Lord Azukage, Tsunade Senju has been voted to become 5th Hokage, and someone named Jiraiya asking for a joint mission with a team of your finest shinobi, yours truly council member Hiyashi. Naruto then said, Isaribi, keep an eye on the village because I am going to be helping out Pervy Sage because I have obtained the scroll from Senju Manor because I have been able to do that. After Naruto reflected, Kyuubi replied, that may be true. But what you need to do is keep eye out of that mortal. That goes by the name Orochimaru, because knowing him, he will try get granddaughter of my original Jinchuriki to heal him, because once his arms are healed he would regain the ability to use any of his forbidden jutsu, even that annoying forbidden jutsu reanimation. And Naruto pondered, Orochimaru would not go alone to find Tsunade, and I have a feeling that I know who Orochimaru is going to bring, someone that he trusts to assist him in their search for Tsunade, the granddaughter of your original Jinchuriki Mito Uzumaki Senju. When he arrived in a yellow flash, Naruto said, Pervy Sage, I received the message from the Hidden Leaf Council member Hiyashi Hyuga, and I am coming along to assist you because I have something that rightfully belongs to Tsunade Senju, since I know that 3 members of Hidden Leaf Council need Tsunade the information that she has right to know. Jiraiya then said, Alright Naruto, I understand and I accept your help in finding my teammate Tsunade Senju, survivor of Senju clan. Pervy Sage, where would someone who has a habit of drinking sage and sample money go? Asked Naruto after speaking with Jiraiya. The person would go to the town that is all about the sake and gambling, Jiraiya replied. What is the name of the town that has 2 things that Tsunade enjoys the most? Asked Naruto. A town that has sake and gambling spots is none other than Tanzuka town. After Jiraiya finished speaking, Naruto made a few hand gestures and slammed his hand down while shouting, summoning jutsu. Then, Naruto called forth an orange fox, which said, Hello, Naruto. I'm Foxedo, and I'm a tracker fox. However, when Jiraiya displayed a picture of Tsunade, Naruto responded, Could you find this woman for me, Foxedo? Finding that woman is a little bit of a challenge, and I gladly accept the challenge because you get to witness my incredible tracking ability firsthand, Foxedo said as he looked at the picture of Tsunade. Then, Foxedo began to find the scent of Tsunade Senju, but as she turned to face Naruto, Foxedo said, I have located the woman and she is located deep in Tanzaku where an old Tanzuka castle used to be. Naruto responded, Thank you, Foxedo. You may return until you are needed again and tell the 2 sage elders I'd be honored to learn their ways of Fox Sage. Following their conversation, Foxedo left for home, so Naruto and Jiraiya traveled to Tanzuka town. 30 minutes later, Naruto saw a blonde woman with a blackish-haired woman holding a pig. Naruto then accompanied Jiraiya to approach Tsunade, asking, "Are you Tsunade Senju, a member of legendary Sannin and granddaughter of the first Hokage?" After Naruto finished speaking, Tsunade turned around. "And, Jiraiya, what are you doing here and who is this kid who is acting like a cage?" Which Jiraiya responded, "I see that you was enjoying a nice glass of sake. Well, reason we are here because the Leaf Village Council wishes you to take over as 5th Hokage." Then Tsunade responded, "Impossible, the job is for fools who end up dying for something that is nothing but trouble when it comes to certain annoyance." So Naruto responded, What you are saying about the Hokage and especially my father, because it was my father who truly wished you to take over as 5th Hokage, not the council, and as for who I am, you old bat, my name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the 5th Azukage." After Naruto finished speaking, Tsunade said, "You want to take it outside, kid?" Naruto responded, "Very well, you old hag, I'll have this little dance with you. Except for saying that my father Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, was a fool, I will make you suffer great deal of defeat, that even the 1st Hokage would be crying in defeat. And why don't we make this interesting? If you win, you get this rather interesting scroll, but if you lose, I get that necklace that you wear around your neck." The two then went outside to engage in their brief altercation, unaware that Tsunade had fallen victim to one of Naruto's renowned tricks, the Uzumaki lure. When Tsunade said, "I am only going to need one finger to defeat someone like you, and it is a shame that me, a Sannin, facing a kid like you," Naruto grinned and laughed. Then, he said, "You think that you can defeat me with only one finger? Well, two can play that game, because all I need to defeat you is taijutsu style that even you can't defeat." Naruto then assumed the position of Uzukin, saying, "It's time that I make you pay for what you said about the Hokage, especially my father who chose you as his successor. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that if not only I will give you this scroll that I have in my pocket, I will even tell you something that council should have told you years ago," Naruto said as he ran straight at Tsunade, who then proceeded to strike him with a really powerful flick. Naruto then quickly dodged it and began to form a Rasengan. Tsunade was about to strike Naruto again when Naruto yelled, "Rasengan! I have defeated you, Tsunade, and that necklace is now mine, but I am a man of honor, not someone who would use a lure to get you into a position like this," Naruto said, striking Tsunade with Rasengan. Tsunade's own assistant, Shizune, was shocked that someone had used the 4th Hokage's jutsu to defeat Tsunade. Shizune went to heal Tsunade, and Naruto said, "I have defeated you, Tsunade, and that necklace is now mine." Tsunade removed her necklace and put it around Naruto's neck, so Naruto took the message scroll Mito Uzumaki Senju left for Tsunade out of his pocket. Tsunade sadly responded, "I don't think I have any surviving family members left, and I am last of the Senju clan." When Naruto asked, "Tsunade, swipe a bit of your blood on the blood seal on this scroll and look what the scroll holds before I tell you truth about your family." Naruto then stated, "Tsunade, cut your finger to swipe a bit of your blood on the blood seal on this scroll and look what the scroll holds before I tell you truth about your family." Tsunade swiped a bit of her blood on the blood seal, then unrolled the scroll to reveal a letter that read, "Dear my brave granddaughter Tsunade, if you are reading this, it means it is time that I tell you two secrets that you have right to know well. The first secret is that I became Nine Tails Jinchuriki when I sealed Kyuubi into myself, and the second secret is that the jutsu you call mind eternal regeneration is an Uzumaki clan forbidden jutsu, plus I leave you a high S-rank mission that you must prepare for when he returns." Tsunade thought, "Those bastards, they lied to me by saying that I have no surviving relatives, and they even had the nerve to deny me what is rightfully mine to own." Naruto responded, "Tsunade Uzumaki clan are still alive, and that means Uzumaki side of your family still survives, as another survivor of Senju clan also still lives." After saying this, Naruto went to a hotel. When he got there, he said, "Excuse me, sir, but I like one room please." The hotel manager then said, "Here are the keys to door 9 and enjoy your stay." Naruto thought, "This looks good and I can get a little rest, because once Tsunade returns to Hidden Leaf Village, I return to Hidden Eddy Village." And he opened the door to enter his hotel room without realizing that there were a couple of strangers shinobi nearby. "Now that I can get settled, because everyone needs a rest from paperwork. Heck, my father must have wished that he knew how to defeat every cage's worst enemy, the paperwork," Naruto thought as he closed the door. Then, while he was lounging in a chair, there was a knock on the door. "I sense trouble, and the two that I sense are not ordinary shinobi," he thought. Kyuubi responded, "Kit, you better get ready, because one has enough power to rival one Biju and the other is suffering from some kind of mind control state that is extremely familiar." After Kyuubi finished speaking, Naruto opened the door and looked at the two strangers. He then asked, "Can I help you two strangers with anything?" The Samahata wielder responded, "We too are members of the Akatsuki, and I like for you to come with us. However, when Naruto saw that Itachi was hurting from the genjutsu Madara had used, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I will have to refuse that because you see, I am not an ordinary shinobi and you with the blade does the same Zabuza Momochi ring a bell?" The Samahata wielder smiled and said, "If you know about that guppy you might know of another fool named Raiga." After the wielder of the Samahata spoke the user of sharing, "Sorry about that, my name is Itachi Uchiha and that one who spoke to you is my teammate Kisame Hoshikage, the holder of sharks in sword Samahata." Then Kisame responded, "You see, we are members of the Akatsuki and there are 9 of us if you don't count on a former member named Orochimaru." So Naruto responded, "I see that you're not here just to chat, and Kisame, that sharkskin sword looks interesting, except it is no match for brother of that sword destroyer otherwise known as White Shark Blade." When Naruto activated his Rinnegan, he made a few hand gestures that caused Samahata's brother to appear in his hand. He then said, "Destroyer, let's demonstrate this rogue ninja power of the Uzumaki-style Kenjutsu. I don't know how the real White Shark Blade came to me, but if it chose me as its master, I shall honor the bond I have with Destroyer by defeating the wielder of Samahata the Sharkskin Sword, regardless of how skilled he appears to be," he thought. After giving it some thought, Naruto channeled a small amount of his chakra and yelled, "Uzumaki-style Kenjutsu Cutter Slash." Then, he tried to cut Kisame with his sword, but Kisame blocked the attack. Naruto said, "Kisame, I would not try that if I were you, because if you know about this sword's unique ability you'd know what happened to those who were unworthy to wield the brother of Samahata Destroyer, the White Shark Blade." Kisame smiled and responded, "I do know what happened to those who failed to wield Destroyer, and power of Destroyer equals power of Samahata, except as my sword drains chakra from Jinchuriki's chakra to powerful jutsu." Following Kisame's statement, Naruto kicked him away and placed him on his back. He then said, "You good, Kisame, but let's see if you're a match for this." Then, yelling, "Shadow Clone Jutsu," Naruto created a shadow clone. However, as the real Naruto crept behind Itachi, he created a couple of hand signs. As Kisame battled Naruto's shadow clone, Itachi thought, "Something does not add up here. We were told that Naruto would be easy to capture, but it seems we were misguided somehow." After Itachi believed that the real Naruto had formed the final hand sign while whispering, "Ninja Art Mind Clearance Jutsu," the real Naruto undid what Madara had done to Itachi. As a result, when Kisame defeated Naruto's shadow clone, it vanished, revealing to the real Naruto how he had fought Samahata. However, as Naruto returned to his original position, he said, "Well, Kisame, I hate to ruin your master's plan, but wait a minute, I love it when I ruin your master's plan, but now I undone what your boss did to Itachi. What are you going to do?" Kisame was about to flee when he was struck by a Rasengan, unaware of what had happened to Itachi Uchiha, the new elder of the Uchiha clan. "That is good, Naruto. I never knew you had such skill like that in Itachi. What are you going to do now that you are not under control of Madara Uchiha?" Naruto explained after Kisame had escaped after being struck by a Rasengan. He then turned to face Jiraiya. "Pervy sage Itachi Uchiha is no longer under control of Madara Uchiha because I removed the genjutsu that controlled him, and Kisame Hoshikage escaped, except I do have knowledge how he fights with his sword Samahata the Sharks in Sword," Naruto said. Then Itachi said, "I am going back home and I believe that I owe my brother Sasuke a whole lot of explanation." Which Naruto responded with, "No need, Itachi, your brother. Sasuke already knows what happened to you, and Sasuke wishes to get revenge on Madara Uchiha even when I wish to get revenge on Madara Uchiha for what he did to me." Then Itachi responded, "Thank you for removing that powerful mind-controlling genjutsu, Naruto. As Uchiha I will repay for your kindness no matter what." So Naruto responded, "There is no need to repay me, because as long that Uchiha's will of courage burns bright, the white flame of Uchiha will guide you to new age of Uchiha." Knowing that Orochimaru was there with his main lackey Kabuto Yakushi, Naruto and Jiraiya left for Hidden Leaf Village, where Tsunade was waiting. When they got there, Orochimaru asked, "What is your answer, my former teammate?" Tsunade replied, "My answer is that I refuse to heal your arms, because if I did you'd attack Hidden Leaf Village, and I can't have that now. I know I still have some family members to protect." Naruto smiled and said, "Orochimaru, I knew you were up to no good, except you did me a big favor by bringing that spy Kabuto Yakushi in special thanks to me that you can't use your arms." Orochimaru responded, "Come to interfere with my plans yet again, boy," to which Naruto responded, "Orochimaru, today is the day that I put stop to another one of your plans, and today is the day that there will be one less Sannin, as you are no longer classed as a Sannin." Jiraiya then said, "Protect Tsunade, because I am the one that shall deal with Orochimaru." And as Orochimaru removed his bandage, Kabuto made a mark on his arm. Kabuto made some hand gestures after marking Orochimaru's arm, and then he slammed his hand down and yelled, "Summoning Jutsu." Kabuto then called forth a couple of snakes, but as he laughed, he asked, "Do you really think that you can defeat me with 2 snakes?" Naruto then turned to Shizune and said, "Shizune, you heal any of Tsunade's injuries while I take on the 2 snakes that Orochimaru summoned with Kabuto's assistance." When Shizune went to heal Tsunade, Naruto made some hand gestures and yelled, "Uzumaki summoning jutsu." Then, a glowing yellow casket rose from the ground, and Naruto grinned as it opened to reveal a red-haired woman. However, as the woman emerged from the casket, Naruto placed a special seal on her, knowing that this would return the woman's chakra to her chakra network, allowing her to control herself. "Excuse me, fellow Uzumaki, why have I been brought back to life?" the red-haired woman asked after Naruto had applied a special seal to her. Naruto replied, "Great-great-great-aunt Mito, I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the 3rd 9 Tails Jinchuriki and the 5th Azukage of your homeland Hidden Eddy village Uzushiogakure." Mito responded, "That explains why you managed to summon me, but how did you summon me?" Naruto replied, "Shinigami personally gave me permission to summon certain people from the grave and I need your help to defeat the 2 summoned snakes." After Naruto finished speaking, Mito said, "All right, now that you've told me everything I needed to know, let me show you the power of Uzumaki." Mito then activated the Min Eternal Regeneration Seal, and Uzumaki punched the 2 snake summons back to their original location. However, as Mito approached Tsunade, Mito said, "Granddaughter, get over it. This isn't the time to be shocked and help that white-haired man defeat the one that used my husband with that blasted forbidden jutsu of his." Tsunade said, "You're right, Nanny, I don't have time to be shocked because there is a traitor that needs to be punished." When Kabuto was about to attack Tsunade, Mito made a series of hand gestures and yelled, "Water-style whirlpool trap jutsu." Mito then made another hand gesture and yelled, "Uzumaki forbidden jutsu Min Eternal Regeneration." Mito Uzumaki Senju activated the seal on her forehead, increasing her strength to match that of her husband, Hashirama Senju, the 1st Hokage. As Mito Uzumaki Senju defeated the 2 summoned snakes, she said, "Before I return to my husband, Hashirama Senju, promise me that you'll finish the mission Hashirama Senju my husband failed to finish by putting an end to Madara Uchiha." Tsunade responded, "Grandma, I promise you that on this day I Tsunade Uzumaki Senju protect Hidden Leaf Village as the 5th Hokage no matter how challenging it appears to be." Shinigami then appeared as it vanished with Mito Uzumaki Senju, knowing that her last wish had been granted. Naruto then said, in a sorrowful tone, "Thank you for helping me and I will never forget the words of Uzumaki and I promise that Madara Uchiha shall be stopped no matter what." Tsunade turned to face Kabuto and Orochimaru after Mito had returned to her husband Hashirama Senju. Tsunade said, "Orochimaru, you traitor, you no longer one of us," and Orochimaru laughed. "Oh, you broke my poor snake heart, Tsunade. I thought we were friends." Orochimaru then said, "Kabuto, do it," and Kabuto marked Orochimaru's arm with his blood. The 2 legendary Sannin prepared to use summoning jutsu to call upon the 3 summoning bosses, knowing that Manda would want an explanation from either Kabuto or Orochimaru. While Jiraiya summoned Gamabunta and Tsunade summoned Katsuya, the 3 formed some hand signs and slammed their hands down while shouting, "Summoning jutsu." Manda said, "I hate being summoned and I demand to know who the hell summoned me." Kabuto then explained, "I summoned you." Lord Manda, being Lord Orochimaru, was unable to use his arms due to the 5th Azukage Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Manda then said, "I demand 100 sacrifices as proof that you are worthy of being a snake summoner like your master Orochimaru, a legendary Sannin." After Manda finished speaking, Gamabunta asked, "Jiraiya, what is it that you had to summon me when I was enjoying sake with Grand Toad Sage?" Jiraiya replied, "I summoned you here because me and Tsunade are about to battle our ex-teammate Orochimaru." Gamabunta then turned to face Manda and said, "Manda, I am glad he summoned you because thanks to him I can get myself a snakeskin wallet and even get myself a snakeskin sheath that I always wanted." Katsuya then asked, "What do you need from me, Lady Tsunade?" After Katsuya finished speaking, Tsunade said, "Katsuya, me, and my pervert of a teammate are going to put an end to traitor of teammate Orochimaru." Naruto then used his Rinnegan's animal path ability, slamming his hand down before saying, "Summoning jutsu." Naruto then called forth a bear, but as soon as it laid its paw on Shizune, the bear began healing her wounds, realizing that they were difficult for a typical medical shinobi to see. When the bear returned home after healing Shizune, Naruto made some hand gestures and yelled, "Summoning jutsu." He then slammed his hand down, causing Naruto to smile and call forth the 9-tailed fox demon Kyuubi. However, as Kyuubi looked up at Naruto, he asked, "What is it, kid? I was enjoying my relaxation." In response to Naruto's explanation, Kyuubi looked at the two snakes and said, "Kid, that was a wise choice for you to summon me because the foolish mortal who dares to challenge us is going to suffer for vile act he does." Kyuubi then turned to face Manda and said, "Foolish snake prepared to suffer the wrath of mighty fox boss summon of the legendary Orange Fox clan." Gamabunta said, "What the ramen are you doing here, fox? Last time I saw you, Minato sealed you into his son." Kyuubi responded, "Toad, I have been summoned by Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze's own son, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze the fifth Azukage." Naruto then said, "Kyuubi, let's put a stop to another of Orochimaru's plan together." Kyuubi then said, "Hold on kid, I am about to attack that foolish brown snake that the glasses wearing mortal is riding, and I hope you know some wind-style jutsu because that foolish brown snake is toast." When Kyuubi was about to attack the brown summoned snake, he dashed right behind it. Naruto made a few hand gestures while Kyuubi was reading a fire-style jutsu. Then, he yelled, "Wind-style Gale Force Palm." Combining his Flame Blast with his Gale Force Palm, Naruto used Flaming Air Blast jutsu to attack the brown snake. However, as Kyuubi bounced back to the chief toad Gamabunta, he poofed back into the seal, knowing that he was satisfied with his victory over him. "Pervy Sage and Granny Tsunade, I leave that traitorous bastard to you because Kabuto Yakushi is mine," Naruto said after Kyuubi had returned to the seal. Gamabunta responded, "Well, Jiraiya, you heard Minato's son, let's take down that snake." Jiraiya then said, "Gamabunta, it's time to use our combined jutsu and roast that snake with the traitor alive." Jiraiya then made the tiger hand sign while shouting, "Fire-style Toad Flame Bomb." Tsunade said, "Katsuya the Acid," to which Katsuya replied, "Yes Lady Tsunade." Then, Tsunade made a hand gesture and yelled, "Burning Acid Blast," so they blasted Manda with burning acid in an attempt to kill Orochimaru. When Orochimaru left, Manda went underground, knowing that neither Gamabunta nor Katsuya could sense where Manda was going to attack. After saying, "Chief Toad, get ready to jump because the snake is very close and the snake is going to come right under where you," Naruto leapt directly onto Gamabunta's head. Gamabunta responded, "Thanks, kid, now I know what to do." Then, as Manda emerged from the ground, Gamabunta made a hand gesture and yelled, "Water-style liquid bullets." As Naruto leapt off Gamabunta's head, he yelled, "Summoning Jutsu." "Summoner, I am Foxeno, and I am pleased to meet you," the orange fox said as Naruto managed to slam his hand down. "Foxeno, can I count on you to help me end this fight against the traitor of Hidden Leaf Village Orochimaru?" Naruto replied, "Sure kid, I might not be like Nine-Tail Fox who was previously summoned but I will do what I can to help you out." Foxeno then used his claws to form a hand sign for wind-style jutsu, inflicting harm to Manda, the summoned boss of the snakes. After Foxeno made a hand sign, Jiraiya said, "Gamabunta, I need a barrier to protect us." Gamabunta used his water barrier jutsu, and Katsuya used her wind barrier to protect herself and her summoner, Tsunade Senju, a member of the legendary Sannin. Then, Naruto made a hand sign and yelled, "Wind-style Foden Bomb." Foxeno then blasted a powerful force of air directly at Manda, who said, "Next time that you summon me you better give me 100 sacrifices because thanks to you I can't eat anything until I am fully healed from that blasted orange fox's attack." Orochimaru was about to attack Naruto when Jiraiya yelled, "Rasengan," and struck him with a Rasengan. As Manda poofed back home, Gamabunta poofed back home at the same time that Katsuya poofed back home, and Orochimaru said, "That blasted boy must die because he foiled my plans long enough." Kabuto fled with Orochimaru, knowing that they had been defeated. After Orochimaru and Kabuto fled Naruto, well great. Cousin Tsunade and Pervy Sage that was a blast except. I am going back home to Hidden Eddy Village Uzushiogakure. But before I do go I like permission to use the symbol of Senju clan on back of my village's Chunin vests and specially. That Hidden Leaf Village use my mother's clan Uzumaki clan on their Chunin vests. Which Tsunade responded, "I give you permission and I like to form an alliance with you to honor the alliance our village had years ago back in the day that my grandfather Hashirama Senju married my grandmother Mito Uzumaki Senju." So Naruto responded, "They betrayed my parents' wish and only those who did not betray my parents' wish have permission to wear Chunin vest that wears symbol of Uzumaki clan." That was kind of fun, but there is going to be some paperwork that must be defeated back in my office, the Azukage office, plus I am finally ready to propose to my girlfriend Isaribi, Naruto thought as he made his way back to Hidden Eddy Village Uzushiogakure after speaking, while Tsunade returned to Hidden Leaf Village with her fellow legendary Sannin Jiraiya. The following day, Naruto went to the old Uzu vault and removed an engagement ring. He then proceeded to Isaribi, But before he could reach her, he knelt down and asked, "Isaribi, will you marry me?" Isaribi responded, "Yes, Naruto. I will marry you and I will help you with whatever I can." And Naruto put the engagement ring on Isaribi's finger, aware that his life was improving. Following the placement of the engagement ring on Isaribi's finger, Naruto returned to his office and sat back in his chair. A message read, "Dear Lord Azukage, my shinobi are having trouble taking down unacceptable Hanzo the Salamander and we need some help to defeat Hanzo the Salamander plus his group of bandits, your truly resistance leader Nagato Uzumaki." Naruto thought, looks like perfect chance to send in Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division. Kit, something tells me that a mission for Anbu Black Ops, and if I know what you're thinking I'd say your Anbu Black Ops finally get chance to show what they're capable of. Kyuubi responded after Naruto had given it some thought. Naruto then yelled, "Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division, come to my office because I have a mission for you." As a result, the Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division arrived at the Azukage office, realizing it was time to demonstrate their abilities. Gorilla, Cheater, Wolf, Eagle, and Toad, your mission is to help resistance of Hidden Rain Village take down group of bandits led by Hanzo the Salamander plus this is B-rank mission. Naruto said after Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division left for Hidden Rain Village to assist resistance leader Nagato Uzumaki. Kyuubi, if I play my cards right, get alliance with 4 other villages, we will be able to create something equal to the 5 great nations, except our 5 nations will be the 5 honorable nations in honor of those who died to protect their home village, Naruto thought. You know Kyuubi, that is a brilliant idea, and if the other 4 villages accept, we 5 will become the 5 honorable villages for sure. Kyuubi responded after Naruto pondered, getting alliance with Hidden Rain Village, Hidden Waterfall Village, Hidden Star Village, and Hidden Lightning Village will be able to form something that completely equals the 5 great nations, as yours will truly be known as 5 honorable villages. Naruto grinned at the idea of being equal to 5 great nations while Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division arrived at the gate of Hidden Rain Village. Conan said, "Thank goodness you arrived. Nagato is facing off against Hanzo the Salamander while my team is holding off against some of the bandits." As Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division arrived at the gate of Hidden Rain Village, Gorilla responded, "Lord Azukage personally sent us to help, and now that we are here, time to get to work." The bandits were about to kill an innocent shinobi when Gorilla yelled, "Vile bandits, we Anbu Black Ops of Hidden Eddy Village will be your opponents, and by words of our Lord Azukage, you are going down, believe it." After Gorilla, an Anbu member, spoke, he made a few hand gestures and yelled, "Lightning-style static shock." The other bandits then attacked Gorilla until Cheater made a few hand gestures to use Earth-style jutsu, and 3 other Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division members grinned and formed a few hand gestures to use their own jutsu to finish the bandits. Following the smiles of 3 other Anbu members of the Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division, Cheater shouted, "Earth-style rock shuriken," which made the bandits shiver. Wolf then shouted, "Wind-style gale slash," which caused the bandits to be slashed by Wolf, but as the bandits attempted to flee, Eagle shouted, "Fire-style flame shot jutsu," and Eagle Flame shot the bandits, while Toad shouted, "Water-style bubble blast." Following Toad's speech, he bubble blasted the bandits, killing all but the one that Gorilla had captured. Then, Gorilla made a hand gesture and said, "Shadow clone jutsu," causing a shadow of Gorilla to appear. "Take this bandit to Sharkuto Brothers for interrogation because we will be able to find out if he has any links to members of the S-rank organization, the Akatsuki," Gorilla said, glancing at his shadow clone. "In order to assist Nagato Uzumaki in defeating Hanzo the Salamander," Gorilla said, "Anbu Formation Star 1. As they arrived, Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division then moved into position, causing Gorilla to form a sand sign. Meanwhile, Nagato activated his Rinnegan and began healing himself using a jutsu healing aura in the Uzumaki style. Once he had fully recovered, he asked, "By any chance would your cage be an Uzumaki?" Once Nagato finished speaking, Gorilla responded, "Sir, our Lord Azukage is not just an Uzumaki, he is an Uzumaki and a Namikaze." Anbu member Cheater then responded, "Lord Azukage is in fact Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of Red Death Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze and 4th Hokage Yellow Flash Minato Namikaze." Nagato then said, "Once this is all over, inform my cousin Naruto. I wish to form an alliance with him." Wolf responded, "Okay, Nagato sir, we'll do that once we return to report the mission's success." Nagato then made a hand sign and yelled, "Sealing Jutsu Cure Seal. I have placed the cure seal on you because Hanzo is what you call a poisonous shinobi because he poisoned his weapons. But thanks to the cure seal, if any of you get poisoned, you would be cured in 5 minutes once the cure seal has activated," Nagato explained after placing the cure seal on Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division. Gorilla then said, "Thank you Nagato Uzumaki, we are now ready to put an end to this mess." Nagato then made a hand sign while shouting, Uzumaki-style whirlpool barrage. Following Nagato's speech, he unleashed a whirlpool on Hanzo, which caused Gorilla to form a hand sign and yell, Lightning-style bolt bullet jutsu. Gorilla then proceeded to bullet Hanzo the salamander, causing Cheater to form a hand sign and yell, Earth-style headhunter jutsu. As Cheater trapped the majority of Hanzo underground, Hanzo grinned until Wolf formed a hand sign for a wind-style jutsu, knowing that Eagle formed a hand sign for a fire-style jutsu. Wolf made a hand sign and said, Wind-style typhoon boom. Then, Eagle made a hand sign and said, Fire-style flame bomb jutsu. Hanzo looked shocked as Eagle flame bombed him. Toad then made a hand sign for a water-style jutsu that would take away Hanzo's poisonous ability as a salamander, but just as he was about to laugh, Toad said, Water-style sea slime jutsu. The salamander gorilla said, Nagato Hanzo is no longer poisonous and it is unfair if we don't allow you to serve justice to the dishonorable Hanzo, as Toad sea slimed him. Nagato made a hand gesture and yelled, Soul removal. Then, using the Rinnegan ability, Nagato killed Hanzo the salamander, saying, I am not just a relative of your cage. I am Nagato Uzumaki, the 5th Amikage protector of Hidden Rain Village, and now that Hidden Rain Village is once again open for all its allies. After Nagato finished speaking, he gave Gorilla the message containing the Amikage approval seal, after which the Anbu Black Ops Yellow Division returned to the Azukage office in Hidden Eddy Village Uzushiogakure. Meanwhile, Naruto was lounging in the Azukage office when Kyuubi said, Naruto, you will soon be ready to learn one of my well-known jutsus, and I warn you, if the jutsu is formed incorrectly it will cause slight self-injury. Naruto thought, don't worry, Kyuubi, I will never give up no matter what. Kyuubi responded, very well kid, be ready once your Anbu reported the mission's success, because if this jutsu is formed incorrectly Madara Uchiha will not stand a chance. Following Kyuubi's speech, the Black Ops Yellow Division arrived. Naruto asked, how was the mission? And Gorilla replied, Lord Azukage sir, the mission was successful. Here is the message from Lord Amikage. As Naruto looked at the message, Gorilla gave him the letter from Nagato Uzumaki, which read, Dear Lord Azukage, I am 5th Amikage Nagato Uzumaki, and I would like to form an alliance with you, especially since I am an Uzumaki, just like you. After reading the message, Naruto wrote, Dear Lord Amikage, I accept the proposal to form an alliance with you in secret to defeat menace known as Paperwork as a shadow clone jutsu. Anyways, good luck, cuz yours truly 5th Azukage Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, son of 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze and Red Death Kushina Uzumaki Namikaze. Then, he placed the message on a Seahawk, which flew straight over to the Amikage's office, where Nagato was examining paperwork and wishing he could destroy it with a simple fire-style jutsu. 5 shadow clones responded, Paperwork is no match for Shadow Clone Jutsu, and once every cage learned to use Shadow Clone Jutsu, victory shall be cages, while Naruto formed a hand sign and said, Shadow Clone Jutsu. 4 Shadow Clones then appeared in response to the original Naruto's statement, right, let's defeat this paperwork with great courage. 5 Naruto Shadow Clones appeared as Naruto formed a 2-handed hand sign and said, Shadow Clone Jutsu. He then said, today we win our war against Paperwork, and our joy of victory over Paperwork is joy to all cage. 5 Naruto Shadow Clones then said, okay, let's defeat the enemy of all cage, the Paperwork, like the will of fire that all of Hidden Leaf Village has faith in, and 6 Narutos began signing the paperwork. After 6 Narutos had completed signing the paperwork, 5 Shadow Clones dispelled the strange scroll with the Hyuga clan's logo. At that point, a familiar-looking Jonin entered Azukage's office and said, Lord Azukage, may I have a look at that scroll you have on your desk? Naruto then handed it to his village Jonin, explaining, Hikari, I believe that scroll is from a member of our village's Hyuga clan. After Hikari replied, this is scroll of Hidden Eddy Village Hyuga, and we don't have many Hyugas in this village, which Naruto said, Hikari, I have a mission for you, and I know you would prefer a higher rank mission. Except I like you to deliver this scroll to an old friend of mine named Hinata Hyuga, because I think that scroll was left for her. Then Hikari asked, could you run that name again, Lord Azukage? I believe you spoke a name that I recognize. So Naruto said, you know my old friend Hinata Hyuga, cousin of Neji Hyuga. While Hikari took a small picture out of his pocket, Hikari said, this is picture of my daughter Hikari Hyuga, meaning Hinata along with her little sister are my 2 granddaughters.
That's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this great story. See you in the next one.